that. Yeah. So now the recording is finally started, right? I think it's the right time when we can start the session. And as I've said earlier, let me first of all let me start the screen sharing. All right. I hope everyone can see my screen. So I have already discussed it, but since for the record, let me discuss it once again. That I hope all of you know that the agenda of the session is about Myntra clone, building it, right? And what we are doing, since it's a friendly session, in beginner friendly session means that we are not going to directly start by building that in React.js or by building that maybe using Node.js or by using Redux on top of it. What we are starting is we are just starting it with the basics of HTML and CSS, and we will not be completely building the complete Myntra clone, right? We cannot do that in one single session. What we are planning is, this is how Myntra looks like. I hope all of you have gone through it. So we are going to clone the first page. As you can see, like the navigation bar is there, then the banners are there, then there is some, what do you say, category section, then there is shop by brand, then there is whatever. So we are going to just clone this, and we are just using HTML and CSS for that. We are not using any frameworks of CSS, or we are also not using any frameworks such like, for using those carousels. People do use some, what do you say, some frameworks or some libraries. We are just going to use plain vanilla JavaScript. Sorry, not even JavaScript, plain vanilla, CSS, and also basics of HTML. We are going to use it, right? So we'll just try to make it as simple as possible. And that is the agenda for the today's session. And what I have told earlier, was that in most of the session, what happens is that the instructor comes and they directly start building the stuff, which I think is not as productive as it could get. So initially, we'll quickly discuss some basics of CSS and some interesting properties and some properties which are going to be highly used in building this clone. And in general, also, it's a good thing to know as if you'll say that, okay, I know CSS, so these are some important properties that you need to know about CSS. So this is what we will be doing. We'll be first of all starting with some basics of CSS. We'll try to understand the overall approach of how we'll be approaching this project. Because one thing I could do is I could directly start building the navbar, I could directly start building the banners. But the better way would be that I will first of all discuss that what is the layout that we are planning, how we are planning that layout, and then we'll start coding it. We'll start building it. So that is the whole quick summary of the whole thing that we will be planning. I hope you have a good idea, you have a good confidence now. Before even starting with it, I'll also discuss a few things like what tool we will be using, how we will be approaching it. So to start building any of the project, you need a workspace, you need a tool where you can start writing the code and you can see the outcome of that, or you can have some tools which can help you in writing the faster code. So for that, what we can do, we can just use maybe, what do you say, we can use Notepad, we can use Notepad++, we can use Sublime Text. There is a lot of options available to you in the market. But what we will start with is we will start with Visual Studio Code. This is a code editor, you can say, or you can, sometimes people say it's a IDE. IDE stands for Integrated Development Environment. So this is what we will be doing. And you need to just say VS Code download on your system. And once you do that, you'll find the very first link. From there, you can download it. Although I believe that it is such a common tool, it's such a common thing for all of the people who have just started with the development and who have an interest in development. So mostly, I think 90 or 95% of the people will still have it on their system. But since I'm assuming that there will be some new audience, so for them, you can just download it and you can install it on your system. According to your system, you can download it. Since I already have it installed, I already have it downloaded on my system, so I'm not going to download it once again. Just write VS Code download. That's it. That is a good option. That is one of the most suggested developer tool that you should use. So this is what I have done. And it will look something like this. It will look something like this on your system. And you need to have it installed. Now, once you have this installed, right, the next thing that you will be doing is you'll have to get a basic starter code, right? You just have to get, a directory where you can start using that thing, where you can start creating that project. So I just want to get you started with that first of all, right? We are not directly going to start with that project, but still I want you to have a basic setup in your system, right? So for that, what I have done is I have already created a folder by the name of workshops, inside which I have created a folder by the name of Myntra. You can see that there is an image folder, right, which has certain images, certain folders. We also have an HTML and we also have a CSS file. Although these files are completely empty, we don't have anything inside here. I'll show you by opening it in my VS Code. I mean, not completely empty, but they have a very basic boilerplate code. Let me show you here only. Yes. I hope it's visible to all of you, right? So you can see that I have basic two files, index.html, which has some boilerplate code, and style.css, which don't have anything. This is the starter code that I also have prepared for you. I'll just share the URL. All of you can head over to this particular, you can head over to this particular URL, and it will look something like this to you. This is a link of the GitHub repository that I have just created. I mean, not just created, but I have created before the session. In this, for the people who don't know what GitHub is, it is like a platform wherein you can host your code and people can collaborate. People can, take some idea from your code, and you can actually start building your code by collaborating or by contributing to different projects. So for the people who have no idea about it, what it is, don't worry. You just need to head over to this URL. And in order to get this code on your system, what you can do, you can have multiple options. One option is you directly go onto this green button. You can click on this and you can either download the zip of the whole project. This will be the simplest option that you can do. I would say that just download the zip of the project, because else you have to go with cloning the project, which I don't think that every person in the class knows what is cloning and how to clone it. In case you know how to clone a project, that's really good. In case you don't know and you're the newbie here, so don't worry, you can just download the zip. It will just download it. It will just get downloaded on your system, and you can just hit enter. And then you can do what? You can unzip this project. You'll get the repository which I just created. You'll get something like this. You'll get it something like this way, right? And that is the basic setup which all of you should be having in your system before starting with the project, before starting with today's session. I hope that is very, very fine with you. Right, so this is what we have just got it, right? How to link CSS, we'll talk about all of this. Things get better with better tech stack, with more better things. But I told you, right, this is more of a beginner friendly session. We are not planning to use React. We are not planning to use Redux here. We are not even planning to add any backend here. It's just a basic thing that we have done, right? So for that thing, I think it's a good start. And the best part about this session is that you don't need to have a very big prerequisite before attending the session, right? Yeah, you just need to get a basic idea of what HTML is and what tags are and etc. Even if you don't know that, we'll just quickly discuss it. Yeah, so basic thing we have already done, right? So now, since we have done it, right, we are not directly starting with this Myntra clone or this whole VS Code stuff. Don't worry. I'll just close this window and I'll start by discussing what HTML is, what CSS is, why do we need it, and how we are planning the session, right? How we can know some basics of HTML and CSS, and then we can go to actually building that project. So even before that, I'll create another folder and I'll say basics. And I'll open this basics folder in my VS Code. Right now, I'm opening this basics folder directly, right, by dragging and dropping. It depends upon your operating system, how you would open it up. Sometimes you have to go to VS Code and then you have to go to this option of, file, then open a folder or open something like this. And from there, you can select the folder which you want to open, right? For us, I could directly drag and drop this folder in my VS Code and it would get open. For you, you have to figure out how you would do that. And by the way, this is how a VS Code looks like. So that's a quick catch up of what you need to have on your system and how we are going to proceed. I hope there is no as such backlogs till this point. I hope everyone was able to catch up of what I was saying and what we are planning to do. Right? Any quick thing you want to know or anything which you felt like you didn't get or any particular thing? अभी तक ऐसा कुछ नहीं लग रहा, right? कि कुछ ऐसा समझ में नहीं आया, anything went too fast. I was just trying to quickly cover up all the basics. The basics folder is not added in the, what do you say, it's not added in the GitHub. This is what I'm creating because basics is just for the warming up, right? When you go to the actual match day, you don't directly start bowling, you don't directly start batting, right? You do a warm up before actually going into the World Cup level match, right? So assume that this is a World Cup level match that we are playing. Although as an Indian, I hope all of you have some bitter feeling by hearing that word World Cup, but let it be, right? We are just going with the game. Let's just say we are going with the game. So before the game, we need to do some little warm up, right? So this is where we are going to do that warm up. This is where we'll just, try to create some HTML file. We'll try to create some CSS, and we'll try to understand the basic things about how HTML and how CSS works. And then we'll actually go to the match. We'll actually go and we'll actually develop some things there. So yeah, no, guys, You don't need to go to this Jamboard link. This is, I think, was created personally by Aditya. Right? There is no need of going to Jamboard link. Right now, I'll be using this as my, what do you say, as the area where I'll, do some illustration or I'll do some scratch padding. It is totally visible. What we can do after the session, maybe I can share this link from where you can access it. But I think it's more over going to be just understanding stuff and not exactly for some note stuff. Yeah, about this, like taking it slowly, or about if I'm hurrying or what. I believe, right, if we would invest too much time into all of these basics ki folder aise banate and stuff like that, it will get a little we have to catch up in the end, right? I don't want to rush the session at the end thinking, okay, enough is enough, we have already wasted so much time. So just so that we have some quality time for important stuff, that's why I'm going a little fast here. And also, like, it's a general feedback that I always get ki I go something like 1.5x speed or 1.25 speed. So I'll try to take this feedback, I'll try to incorporate this feedback now, and I'll go a little slow now from this time onwards, right? Exactly, yeah. Okay, about how many students require basic, that's I mean, it will be something like a mix, but I don't still want to directly go into the right, I don't want to directly go to the Myntra session directly building it, because I still believe that even if you know the basics, some new things you might understand, some new things you might take if you just cover up the basics. Basics will not take too much time, it will hardly take 15-20 minutes, and after that we can start building that. मतलब हम पूरा HTML और CSS तो नहीं करेंगे, right? Obviously we are going to start with in that part. Hindi mein, okay. So I would obviously, as we have already discussed, that there will be a lot of people who don't understand Hindi. So majorly we will take English, but कुछ parts पे मैं हिंदी में भी थोड़ा बहुत बता दूंगा, right? So don't worry about that. तो basic चीज अगर अगर मेरे को summarize करना है पूरा इसके बारे में, and for the English audience, right? I might start using Hindi at some point of time. So it's not that I'm covering something new. I might be recalling or I might be revising whatever I've just said in English, right? So don't worry about if you are missing something. सो मेन चीज जो मैं अभी तक आपको बता रहा था वॉज लाइक कि हमने बेसिक्स यहाँ पे करने के लिए तैयार रख लिया एक फोल्डर, इसमें हम थोड़े से HTML एंड CSS के बारे में कुछ बेसिक समझेंगे, एंड देन हम जाके अपने प्रोजेक्ट पे चीजें स्टार्ट करेंगे. एंड एक चीज और भी मैं आपको बताऊंगा कि हमने ये जो प्रोजेक्ट का बेसिक स्टार्टर कोड है, ये मैंने आपको ये URL दे रखा है, आप ये URL देख लेना चैट में. यहाँ पे हमने बेसिक जो इमेजेस और ये जो भी चीज चाहिए होती है इसके लिए, ये यहाँ से मैंने सेट कर लिया है. आपको क्या करना है, आपको ग्रीन वाला बटन यहाँ दिख जाएगा सबके पास, एंड यहाँ से आप क्लिक करके डाउनलोड जिप कर सकते हो, ताकि आपको वो स्टार्टर कोड है वो एक बार में मिल जाए. अगर आपको स्टार्टर कोड मिल जाएगा तो उसके बाद आप उसमें काम करना शुरू कर सकते हो. Alright then, so with all of this, how to save zip code, I didn't understand. Okay, to do that you just have to go here, you have to click on this green button, and that's it. That's how you can download the zip of it. Okay, I know, I'm not sure how to pronounce this name, but I've told you this, I have told everyone this, that I might use some part of Hindi in between, just to make sure that everyone is in sync. But major language of communication is still going to be English. Don't worry, guys. All right, perfect. So yeah. Now, what we are doing is, we'll first of all need to know about what HTML is, what CSS is, and how we are going to utilize. Let me write the agenda here first of all, right? The agenda for today's session is basically we'll understand some basics of HTML. Then we'll understand some basics of CSS. In CSS, we'll obviously not be able to take all the topics. In this whole workshop, in this whole building the whole Myntra session, 2 or 3 more most important things about CSS will be required. The first thing is going to be basics, or we can say, box model. Even before box model, we can say height, width, and etc. Height, width, margins, colors, fonts. These are some very basic properties of CSS. We'll quickly skim through all of them, like how do you give height, how do you give width, how do you give margins, how do you give colors, etc. Secondly, we'll quickly talk about box model property, because this is also an important part of learning CSS. And lastly, we'll just briefly talk about flex boxes, because I believe flex box is such an important property, such a magical property, which you all should know, because it's a lifesaver. If I talk about myself, if I work on maybe 10 projects in 1 week, right, 9.5 project directly uses first flex boxes, or I use flex box in the very first minute or in the very first starting few minutes of starting a project, because it's that important, it's that multifunctional. So Flexbox is something which we would be using very, very intensively, and which you as a CSS, as a person with CSS skill should know. So Flexbox is something we will be discussing. And after that, we can quickly start by building the actual project, which is Myntra this time. Myntra. I hope you are clear with the agenda now, right? And also to incorporate your feedbacks, I'll start speaking a little slow now. Not slow, but I'll start speaking with a little less pace now. Is it fine? All right. Yeah. So with this, I think the basics folder is ready. अभी अपने को क्या करना है? What we have to do now is we have to first of all create an HTML file. I hope you have this very, very basic idea that we create the structure, we create the layout of the whole project. We create, suppose I'll show you, right? How does Myntra look like? If this is how Myntra looks like, we need to lay out the structure. We need to lay out the foundation of this is the area where navigation bar will go. This is the area where banner image will go. This is the area where all the brand section will go. So we need to prepare that layout using what? We need to prepare that layout using HTML file. So to create an HTML file, I have to create a file, and the name I'm giving is index.html. There is a reason behind giving it the name of index. We will talk about it later when we will actually deploy that project. मतलब जब हम project deploy करेंगे ना, तब हम देखेंगे कि index देने का एक particular मतलब होता है. Right now you can just again start writing it as index. That should not be bothered, right? तो अभी के लिए हम index ही बना लेते हैं. Let's just say that, right? In this index.html, right? What we are going to do is we are going to have a quick boilerplate code. What is a boilerplate code? I'll not go much into the depth of अच्छा boilerplate में ये होता है, this is head, this is body, etc. I'll just tell you that in HTML we create the structure using tags. हम पूरा structure ना सिर्फ tags की मदद से ही बनाते हैं. We use different tags, we use different attributes in these tags to get a particular design, not a design, but to get a particular layout, and to get that layout with different customizations. Maybe sometimes you would see that there is a input area, right? So maybe you want that input area to only contain numbers. Maybe that's a numeric input area. So you can have this customization by using a particular attribute. Sometimes you want the thing to come in a password way, like everything that you write will go as a hidden manner. So all of this can be done using attributes. So it is a combination of attributes and the right tag to get the structure. कभी भी आप अपने पेज में स्ट्रक्चर बनाओगे, कभी भी आप अपना वेब डेवलपमेंट का प्रोजेक्ट स्टार्ट करोगे, तो गिव द वेरी फर्स्ट स्ट्रक्चर यू वुड नीड एट्रीब्यूट्स एंड यू वुड नीड टैग्स. So this is what we will be doing here. To give a basic boilerplate code, you have to use this this exclamatory sign and then hit enter on this, right? This is what VS Code is going to help you in getting a basic setup code. एक setup code होता है जो आपको सबको you will be able to see that once you use this exclamatory mark. Let me do that once again. Exclamatory mark and then hit enter, right? So that is what all of you should do. In this, there is a lot of things that is written. I could not explain all of this because we have a long video planned ahead. I can still give you a quick idea of what is required for what purpose. The first section that you can see, right? This HTML, this doc type, and this closing HTML. This is the basic identification that, okay, this is your HTML project, and the version of HTML that you're using is HTML version 5. Sorry, we don't write comment in this way, right? We write comment in a different way. Yeah, this is the way we write comment. HTML5 is what we are using. Right, now you might be asking, what is HTML5 and what are the previous version of it? HTML5 is the latest standard of HTML that we are using. And that gives us the power to use many tags like semantic tags. And it's, something which is more latest. So that is what we are using. And if you are writing it, this denotes that we are using HTML5. This thing denotes that, okay, the language of the stuff that you'll write in your page is going to be English medium only. Well, you write the content in English, right? Generally, Myntra is written in English. I mean, I've only browsed the English version of it, maybe. So this is what you have written here. By the way, this is a tag. And generally, a tag look like this way. It has an opening, just like this, and it has a closing. Not all the tags has opening and closing, but yeah, most of the tag do have opening and they have a closing tag. What do we see in between the tag is, this is basically an attribute. right? An attribute does what? An attribute does give some extra characteristics or some specification to the tag, right? The tag is going to be same, but to give additional information to that tag, we can use that attribute. We will talk about more attributes. You can see character set is an attribute. You can see name is an attribute. Content is an attribute, and many more to see. So I hope everyone knows how does a basic boilerplate code of an HTML looks like. And when I will, save this file and when I will open this in the browser, let me do that. This is the basics. In this, you can see it is a HTML file. When I'm going to double click on this, you can see it is a first page that I have created. I have not written anything in my page now, so that's why the page is it's literally empty. We cannot see anything here. But one thing we can see is it says document on the title of it. Can you see it? Yep, it says document. So why is this document appearing here? This document is appearing because we have written a title here. So that's it. That's how you will make your first web page. But there is still one problem. The problem is when you write any change, when you do any change here, like for example, whatever, right? If you'll write something like this, and when you go back to your page, you'll not be able to see the changes. You have to refresh this. You have to refresh this to see the reflected changes. Yeah. So in order to get rid of this, you literally don't want to do that every time, right? Every time you write something, you go back, you refresh the page. So to get rid of this, what you can do is you can have an extension. Yeah, you can have an extension on your VS Code. You can search for extension from the site, and you can search for live server. Yeah, it will take some time. Yes, this is the extension that you can have in your system, because whenever you'll start coding it, whenever you'll start doing any changes, and once you have this live server extension enabled, you can install it from here. Right now it says uninstall because I already have it installed. So once you have it, you can click on this go live button from here. And what will happen now is, yeah, I'll zoom the page once again. Yeah. And when I do any changes, right, maybe Cuvette dot dot dot, you can see the instant changes are appearing here. Right. So that is something that you can choose if you want to do this in a more efficient way. So I hope all of you have understood the basics of how tags are written, how a boilerplate code of HTML is written, and what are the prerequisites that you need to have in your VS Code in order to start the project. I hope that's very, very fine with all of you, right? Let me quickly go through it. Yep. Recorded available. Yes. Can we add? Yes, we can add more than one attribute. Yeah, we can add more than one attribute in that. Yes, right now it is getting recorded. You can see this recorded symbol, right? This is being recorded and you will be getting the recordings. Don't worry, on your mails. Okay, about attributes. Attribute is something, which adds characteristics to the tag. So tags give you a behavior, right? Tags give you, like, if you write the tag of maybe H1, so H1 will give you a heading in your page. If you want to add the characteristics of adding certain styles or adding some more characteristics to it, you can add it using a particular attribute. We will talk about attributes, like there are ID attribute, there are classes attribute, there are type attribute, there are lots of attributes. So we'll eventually talk about them when we will go to that section. Perfect. So we have a good idea about HTML now. Obviously, we cannot be talking about all the HTML tags. We cannot be talking about all the attributes that are available to us in HTML. But yeah, after that, what next we can discuss is we can discuss about CSS, what it is, why do we require CSS, and how to work around with following properties on CSS. This one, right? So to get a CSS, right, you need to have a file. Maybe let's just say styles.css. In style.css, what you would require to do is you would require to write the styles here. Although there are other options available, you can also write the styles within your HTML file at a specific section. You can write the styles within every attribute, within every tag. Like I write H1, I'll say hello world. I'll say it. So you can see hello world is written, right? I can write some style by writing something like this. And you will see that it says red. So this is one option, but we don't recommend this option. Why? Because it is called as inline CSS, and we don't want to write all the style within the same tag. So हम ये चीज हटा देते हैं. We don't prefer this one. We don't prefer this for bigger projects. Another option that is available to you is something like this. You do something like this, right? So when you do this, you still can see the color is being red. I'll just comment it for a second. The color is black, right? So when I implement this style, you can see the color is red. So this is another option, but we still don't recommend this because we want the styles to be separated from the structure. So that's why this is the option that we are choosing. We are preparing a new style. We are preparing a new sheet. We are preparing a new file for writing all the CSS here that can be added with the HTML to see the related style. So what I'll do, I'll write the color, sorry. And then I have to link that file also. By the way, this is how you link a file. And yeah, you can see the color still turns to red. I'll just comment the style for a second. You can see the color is getting back to, getting back to black. So that is how you can add some CSS and you can see some quick changes. I think I have not discussed it. Like this is the link tag that we use. There are two attributes. One is this relation attribute. Another one is this href attribute. Relation attributes tell what are you trying to add. And this href attributes tell whatever file you are trying to add, what is the location of that file. Right now, since this style.css is located in the same folder, so we are going to write style.css directly and it will get added to your project. And that's why you can see the red color coming in. I hope that is clear, very, very clear. Second thing about CSS is something which you might find very tricky here, that what is this H1, what are these curly braces, what are this and what is that? Let me also quickly talk about selectors. Let me talk about what is the basic way of giving a CSS style. I hope that is that will be fine because some people might have a confusion about it. So hota kya hai, what happens is that whenever you choose to give some styles from a different file, you have to first of all tell what element you want to select. Element are those tags, basically. Tags plus the information, right? So suppose you have multiple elements like H2. You have two elements. You want to select H1 only. So, and you want to only give red color to that. So how would you do? You would say H1, you'll write the name of the selector. There are a couple of selectors. Let's not talk about that. But yeah, this is one selector that you've written. After that, you'll write this curly braces and you'll write the property name and you'll give the value name. We'll not talk about more property name now, ki color kya hota hai, how do you give height, how do you give width, how do you give color. But small chunk mein we are just giving you this information that for the people who know this, that's really good. For the people who don't know this, you can have an idea. Ideally, I've said that to attend this session, to build this, you need to have a quick prerequisite of how does HTML work, how does CSS work, and some basic things about it. मतलब we cannot start it from very scratch ना. हम बिल्कुल ही scratch से तो नहीं start कर सकते कि बिल्कुल HTML के styles कैसे लिखते हैं, sorry, CSS में style कैसे लिखते हैं और HTML में tags कैसे लिखते हैं. But I've still tried giving you a quick sneak peek about what HTML, how HTML is written, how CSS is attached to it, and what are the ways of giving some basic styles and some structure to it. I hope it was slightly useful, right? Like about the basics of HTML and CSS. We will talk about this box model now. We will talk about this flex boxes now. Height with B, we will discuss it. But I hope you were able to quickly summarize. You were able to quickly get an idea of a quick, a basic foundation I have set up, a quick warm up I've done, right? Yeah, we will be directly starting with it, but still I've just got a basics of it, right? Because you cannot just say, right, kya aapne to directly start kar diya. You just cannot, yeah. Okay, I can see some feedbacks coming in. Okay. All right. Okay, that's a good thing that you've already gone through it. You should have mentioned there is no need of explaining Hindi. Okay, again, that's a good concern that you can, there is no way of repeating that in English and Hindi. Come on, that's something that you cannot, just directly say out of that way. All right, so let's just quickly begin the session, right? Can you repeat all? I'm not sure how to do that. All right, so with this, let's actually start it because many people are still complaining that why are we starting with the basics of HTML and CSS? Let's just directly build it. So yep, I think we can build it, but still I would need to talk a little bit about box model and a little bit about Flexbox. because there will be no point of directly talking about Flexbox, directly using Flexbox if you don't know the basics of it. So let's just skip about width, margins, colors, and font. Let's just quickly talk about box model, and then we'll talk about Flexboxes, and then we'll go about discussing it. So what is this box model and how do we do it? So, and what is the significance of box model? Is that whenever you create any content, right? Whenever you have any content for the page, right? Any element that you're talking about in this, if you have a container, sorry, if you have a container like this, inside which you are planning some content, if inside which you are writing some stuff, right? So assume that this is something that you're writing A, B, C, right? If this is the content that you've written and this is the container of that. So you know that you can have a boundary, right? So let's assume that this is a border that we are having. Let me write it, right? And this is the actual content. After that, we also have this area where we have the spacing, right? This is what is called as padding. The space that you have between the borders, between the outline and the container and the content that you have here, right? So this whole area is called as padding. Right. Apart from this, we also have a stuff that is like around the container, we have some space, right? Something like this. So we have some spaces around it. So let's just say this space area is what? This space area is, it is margin. Oops, yeah, this is margins, right? So what with box model, right? Again, there is a box model that you can go to the internet, you can find out, since many people are complaining that, okay, we already know all the basics. So just to keep in mind, right, padding is always, just to quickly bring this on record, padding is something that we give between the content and between the borders or between the container of what is enclosing this content, and margin is something that we give from outside of this box, right? That is a box model property. Again, there is too much to this, that the padding that you add, right, with the by default nature of CSS, it will start adding to the overall dimension of the box, right? With the border that you will add, it will also get added to the overall dimension of the box. But let's just not talk about it, because the basics, I think it's not as such required. One more thing let's quickly talk about is flex boxes. With flex boxes, what happens is that it is a very quick way, it's a very fun way to get your flexible layouts done. For an example, if you want to arrange certain context, if you want to arrange some things like this one, you want to arrange all these cards. So how will you arrange all these cards? You can arrange all these cards by having a container here. By having a container here, inside which you can have certain small boxes like this. And what Flexbox can help you in achieving is, Flexbox, by the way, works on a container, right? This is a terminology that we use. It works on a container in which you have two main axes. First axis is the flow of the direction. Suppose right now the boxes are being placed in a horizontal manner. So we can say that this complete thing is the main axis. Let's just talk about it. This is the main axis. Okay, just one second. This is the main axis. Other thing is there is a perpendicular axis to it that we say that it is your cross axis. Yeah. I'll quickly try to summarize it because, yeah. Right. So main axis and cross axis. And what happens is that there are two important properties of flex boxes, although there are three, like flex direction, justify content, and align items, right? If you happen to understand all three of them, then major part of flexbox is done only. Regarding properties like flex grow, flex shrink, flex box, flex bases, all these properties are just easily understandable and everything. But this is a point where many people face confusion about. So whatever is the flow of your direction, whatever is the flow of your content that you're placing inside the container is the direction of your flow. Right now it is in the row wise manner, right? It is in the horizontal manner. So we can say if this is the flex direction, row is the flex direction, main axis will be horizontal axis, and along the main axis you will have this property of justify content. Justify content property always work along the main axis, right? Second thing is there is another property of align items. So align items always work in the direction of your cross axis, right? The This thing can be reversed also. If the boxes are arranged in a column wise manner, the main axis will become what? Vertical axis will become your main axis, and your horizontal axis will become your cross axis. You know, the properties are going to change accordingly. I hope a quick thing about how flex boxes work is clear to all of you. Yeah, 1 second. You're asking me to do that layout stuff. Yeah, let me see where can I get that. Change layout. Yep. Where is it? I'm not sure. Oh, spotlight. Yeah, that seems like a good one. Are you able to see this? Yeah. Are you able to see that in a full screen mode now? Still not? No? Perfect. All right, good. Right. So yeah, maybe you can also do it, right? Come on, right? All right. So we have just done it, right? We have just got this basic clears. We have got our basics cleared with it, right? Now it's a time when we can start creating that stuff. We can start creating it. I hope you have quickly enjoyed and you have quickly gained some confidence on the basics. We have done that warm up now. We can actually start creating this. It took a little time, right? But yeah, that was required. Now with this, I'll quickly close this window now. इसको close करूंगा. I'll also close this one. Let's just start talking about it, right? I'll just quickly remove all of this from. I don't think this is required now. तो मैं यहाँ से इन सबको हटा देता हूँ. And I'll start designing, or maybe let it be what it is doing for us. तो अब हम क्या करेंगे? अब हम देखेंगे कि हमें कैसे डिस्कस करना है. We'll just now start discussing the approach. So while discussing the approach, let's first of all bifurcate the whole project into main segments, like into chunks, because that's the first thing that you should do. Because else you'll get too much overwhelming support. You'll get too much overwhelmed. There is a lot of thing to build. There is header, there is banner, there is this and that and that. So let's just break it down into three main sections. How we are going to break it down? We are going to say that let's just assume that our whole project can be divided into three sections. The first is this header part. Second part is your main part. The main part will include all of the stuff like banners. This is the banner. Then you'll have categories. And we are planning to only have two category 1 and category 2 section. Right? Because there is a lot that you can do, but let's just only settle with two categories. After that, you can have a footer section. And I know that I don't have a very good handwriting, but yeah, I really cannot help with it. So you have to bear with it. Yeah, I hope I'm still able to make sense of what I'm writing. I really don't have a good handwriting. And at the end, you'll have a footer. Right? So this is a very basic rough layout we have bought. The three main section होंगे, header होगा, एक main section होगा. Let me even write it here. This is the section number 1. This is the section number 2, and this is the section number 3. So I'll open that stuff where we were working. I'll just close it. मैं वो stuff वापस open करूँगा. I'll open that. In this, you can see we have got a basic design. I'll have three sections as I've planned. Header. After that, I'll have main. After that, we'll have a footer. Right? So the basic rough outline is done. Now we need to first of all complete creating this header or this navigation bar that you can see. This has a lot of complication if you look at as a, if you look into it as a beginner, that okay, there is a lot of, icon has to be there, this segment has to be there, this new icon has to be, this new thing has to be there, the search icon and everything has to be there. So what we are going to do, we are again going to bifurcate it. We are again going to break it down into some sections, and then we are going to approach it, right? Come on, yeah. So in this, what we will do is we'll first of all start with the header, right? In this header, what we would want to have is we want to have a, let's see how we can build it, right? In header, we need to have 3-4 main segments. What all 3-4 main segments we will require? We'll first of all require to have this main logo section. Second is what we will require is this navigation bar. Third is the search icon, and fourth is this these group of collections. So maybe what we can do here is maybe we can have 3-4 sections. We can say there has to be a logo. dot logo container or logo section, whatever you like to say. Let's just say logo container here, right? After you have done the logo container, right? What you are planning to do, you are planning to have this navigation bar. So let's just say we are going to have a navigation bar. So let's just say we'll have navigation bar, or let's just say nav bar, right? Acha, one more thing which I should tell you is that, right, you can use those semantic tags of header, main, footer. So you could even go with a div, you could even go with the div stuff, or you can go with the nav stuff, right? Nav is just a semantic tag that you can use. Whenever you are going to have this navigation bar, तो आप चाहो तो आप nav bar use कर सकते हो. You can use this nav bar instead of directly using this division tag. After the nav bar, right, what else you need to know is you need to have this search segment, and after that you'll have to have this action segments. So you can say what? You can say dot search bar, and then you can have dot what? This action content, sorry, action containers. So this is a rough line, rough outline we have created. I should have also opened it. So right now we are not able to see anything because we have not written anything. Let's just say that this is where the logo is going to come. This is where the navigation is going to come, navigation menu. This is where the search box is going to come, search bar is going to come. And this is where the action containers or action buttons are going to come. After that, we can also have this in the main. This is your main section. And this is your footer section, right? So you'll be able to see there's a very, very bad layout that we have created. We were planning to create a layout where logo, navigation bar, search box, and the action container could come in the straight line, and they could have a separate area. After that, we can have the main section and we can have the footer. Right now, it looks bad, but we will try to get the basic stuff done. We'll try to get the basic approach done. हम एक बार basics कर लेंगे, इसको basic set कर लेंगे, तो then we can add some stylings. Then we can try to make it to the perfection. We can try to add these designs. We can try to add those paddings and spacings, etc. Right? I hope you are still able to get my point, right? Got it. You need me to go a little slow. Okay, I think people are already engaged in some other stuff instead of getting focused here. Anyways, one more suggestion I would like to give here is that in case you feel that okay, this thing you already know and things like that, yeah, let's just do it, right? Because in case you feel right you are already aware about all the stuff, then you are free to also leave the session, because if you start creating a little ruckus, right, so I don't feel very good about delivering this. So again, you are also disturbing sort of the other crowd also. So you are free to leave also, but I think, right, if you can attend the session, you can learn something from it, so that's something that you should upgrade. Anyways, it's totally your choice. All right, so yeah, let's just concentrate on this back again. So I had basically created a rough outline, right? Don't worry, I'll enable the chat section. Don't worry, I'll enable it in between. You can still have your questions ready, you can still have your suggestion ready. So yeah, I had this basic thing done here. तो अभी इसके बाद अपने को क्या करना है, what we need to do is we need to first of all set up the basic logo section. We need to set up the basic this header section. For that, you might be requiring this logo, you might be requiring these banner images. I've already given you this, right? I've already given you this GitHub Myntra clone, whatever it is. Yeah, this one. I'm still sharing it once again in case you are not able to get it. Yeah, you can get it from here. Yeah. Once you have done it, right, the next thing that you should be doing is how you will plan these content. How will you plan the first header section? So let's just say that if I want to add a logo, I'll add that logo here, right? If I want to add a navigation bar, I'll add the navigation bar here. These icons I'll add here. If I want to add a search bar, I'll add the search bar completely here. And for the action bar, I'll add the action bar here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to also write some rough styles. I cannot write all the styles here, but I can start writing some rough styles here, right? And just 1 second, guys. I need to have a sip of water. Just 1 second. All right. All right. So we are planning to write some CSS here. What I've also done is I've opened this CSS Wally file in the side proportion by splitting my window. What I like to do is I like to directly start by creating my header section. I want it to contain a specific height. I want to contain it a specific margin. I want to arrange these things in a particular manner. So to get that done, I'll start writing header inside this. The very first thing that I would like to do here is what? I hope you know what I'm going to say. What is the first thing that you could do? You could implement here. What style of CSS you can implement so that all of this will come in one single line and will appear in this particular manner. I hope you have your answer ready. The thing is, we can use a flex box. So we can say display, we can use as a flex box. We can use the display of flex box here. Sorry, display flex. As soon as I do it, you will be able to see that all those icons, everything is coming up in the same manner, right? In the same order as we would have expected. That's good, right? We have finally got it. Now let's just start doing the remaining things. I want to add an image here. I want to add an icon here. What is that icon? This is this Myntra's icon, right? So how can I add that Myntra icon here? In order to add that Myntra icon, I need to replace this. I need to say, I need to add an image tag. And the image tag, I want to bring that image. So from image section, I think I can go into slash, sorry, I can go into slash images slash Myntra logo SVG. Once I do it, acha, I'm not able to see this image for a specific reason. I'll tell you what is the reason. The reason is I think I've not added this, what I say, I have not added the height and width of this. So I'll just add the height and width and you'll then be able to see it. Right now, let's just give some basic properties like flexbox is given. Let's also give a background property and let's give some height to it. Let's just say height is something we can give around 40-50 pixels. Let's just say, let's go for 40 pixels only. And let's give a background color here so that you can see if the background is, yeah, you can see this is the area where our nav bar is getting selected. Right now, it is very, very chaos. We cannot see image. You can see this, but there is a gap coming from left and right side. So the very first thing that we should do in any big scale project is we should nullify all the margins. We should nullify all the what do you say, all the paddings here. So to do that, I'll say that I want to have, even before writing it, I want to select everything from my page. I want to nullify all the margins and padding. So I can say margin has to be 0, padding has to be 0. And one more thing is box sizing we can change. Box sizing, we can change it to border box, right? So now it looks like no extra space, no extra margin is appearing from all the corners. Once that is done, the next thing that we should be doing is we should be giving some height and width to our logos, to our everything. So to do that, we can also give this logo. We can say inside the logo container, sorry, yeah, maybe inside dot logo container, there is an img, and that should be having a height, or maybe we can do this way. The logo container can have a height of something like, yeah, again, 40 pixels. Or maybe, yeah, let's just say let 40 pixels that is. And let's just say that the image inside it need to have the complete height. So I can say height should be 100%. I'll explain what I'm trying to do here. Yeah. So now you can say that I still believe if I write it, okay, this looks too small, right? So let's just say that let's increase the height of the navigation bar because I feel it's too less. Let's just double it and let's just make it as 80 pixels. Now it looks good, right? When I get it to the normal space, you can see it looks like a normal navigation bar, right? It is something similar to it. Acha, one more thing that you can do is you can inspect the style of your Myntra, right? You can inspect what is the style that they have given. You can not only inspect Myntra, you can inspect any website, any web page. For an example, you want to inspect our web page, right? So let's just say you want to inspect it. So you can right click on this. You can click on this inspect button, click on this, and you can see, right? Tap on this one. You can see, this is having a height of 94 across 23 pixels. The whole navigation bar is having a height of 660 into 72 pixels. So this is the thing that you can do to get an idea of what color they have used, what font family they have used. So similar is what we will do here. They might have disabled the inspect. So you can use the shortcut. You can use Command Option C if you are using Mac. For window, I'm not sure what it is, but you can search how to open inspect in Windows, how to inspect, how to open inspect in Mac. You can use this thing to go through what is the height that they have given. Okay, the height. Okay, they have also given a height of 80 pixel. You can see it, right? It says 818 is the width, 80 is the height of this. So we have again given the height of 80 pixels here, right? And yeah, logo container, we have given it like this way. So in this way, we have started approaching our project, and we have suddenly we have started giving the height of the logo. What I have taken approach is what approach I have taken is I have given height to the container, and the image which is inside here, I've given it 100% height. So that's why if I'll change the container ka height, the image height will automatically adjust accordingly. So that is what I have just done here. After this, one more thing I can find is I want to maintain all of this in the center line. I don't want to put this on top of my container. So to do that, I'll say I want my align item property to go on center. You can see right now it's coming up at the center of my navigation bar. Is it fine? I hope you were able to understand how I was able to, yeah, sorry. I hope you were able to understand how I have started approaching this navigation bar and how we have started, creating logos, how we have started adding all of this. The next target will be how we can achieve all of this, how we can start putting the navigation first, how we can start putting the search box, how we can start putting the action bar. And you might be asking why we have given a blue color or a very strange color, because I want to just see what is the height, what is the area which my navigation bar is taking. Once I'm sure that, okay, this is the exact height, this is the exact width which I wanted, then I can change the color back to the normal. Exactly. Yeah. Perfect. So that's about it, right? Yeah. Now we can again get back to the original coding stuff. Right. तो अब ये करने के बाद the next approach is, the next thing is कि हाँ logo container हो गया है, ये चीज हो गई है. And yeah, we need to think of how we can add some spaces from left and right, and how we can start adding the navigation. So to do that, I think we can add another property of justify content. You can say, maybe you can say space between or space around we can use. Yeah, if you use space around, it would look something like this. Does it look same here? No, I think there is some less space from the right side, on the left side. So let's just say space between, and we can give space between. Yes, and we can give manual spaces from left and right side. So we can say if I can give a padding, and I can give the padding of, I don't want to give a padding from top and bottom. I want to give a padding from left and right. So you can say maybe in pixels I can give, maybe I can give 20 pixels. That's too less. Or maybe I can also give that in percentages. So let's say that we give something like this way. That looks kind of same. We can even drop it to 3 to 2%. Yeah, sort of similar thing we are able to achieve, sort of same distance from left and right. Acha, one more thing is that you can see this Myntra stuff is not responsive at all, right? They have not made it responsive, right? We are also not going to take care much about responsiveness this time, right? We would not be making a collapsible, collapsible nav bar, because we don't have any reference of how their collapsible navigation bar would have been looking. But let's just say that we will create in sort of an elegant way, so that it won't look very bad when we will even open it in the mobile screen. So yep, we have done that. We have created a basic sort of design like this. And the next thing is how we will plan those navigation area, right? So to do that, I will have to use, this is done. Now I can remove this navigation from here, and I can say there has to be some navigation links inside there. So we can say anchor tags, and inside that, since we are not referring, we are not redirecting to any pages, हम किसी pages पे redirect नहीं करेंगे, so we will just be having a hash here. But still we want to refresh, or we are planning maybe in later stages when we will create multiple pages, so maybe at that time we can have this. So that's why we are adding anchor tags. And inside this we can have what we can have those options of men, women, kids, men, women, kids, and then we have what home and living, beauty, home S%, right? Home and living, yes. home and living. Then we would be having beauty and studio. Yeah. And then we'll be having studio. And after that, you can see that studio ke baad we have a new tab. We have a new sort of icon or whatever it is. We can get it done. We can also skip it, but I think we can get it done by using HTML stuff. Super or sub, what we use? Sub is what we use for the below symbol, right? So we should be using super, and here we should be getting new. Yeah, we were able to achieve it, right? So we have just got a rough idea. We have just got a rough style of all the navigation bar. We have a lot of work to do here. We want them to be separated. We want them to don't have this blue color, don't have this underlined stuff. We can also get it done. But yeah, the basic stuff is done around here. So we have achieved it, right? About the search box, we'll do it later. About the action bar, we'll do it later. Let's just quickly, first of all, let's just complete the first portion of it. Let's just complete the navigation bar part of it. So what we can do is, let me just, remove, or let me just comment out all of this. Like not commenting out, let me just hide all of this. So what we can do here is we have got this basic flex design. We have got the space between. We have got everything. Anything else we can do with this stuff? No, I don't think anyways. Now we can start using this. We can start styling this navigation bar. So to style the navigation bar, what we can do, we need to first of all write the selectors. After writing the selectors, right, you again need to plan how you're writing it, right? You can see how you're planning it. In this, you can see there are so many options, and all of them are equidistant from each other. So you cannot just write margin left, margin right to get it done. The better approach will be, instead of writing margin left, margin right, you can still make this as a flex box, and then you can give some height and width, and then you can align them accordingly. So I believe this is the approach that we will take. We will again go here. Where is it? Yeah, navigation bar. We can give this a display of flex, right? After giving a display of flex, what we can give is we can still think of giving some like justify content, because I want to space them space evenly or space between. Let's just say space between. That's good. But you still will think that, okay, there's still not space available here. The reason behind that is, if I will show you this, you can see that the whole section of, let me just pull off this. The header section, inside the header, we have a nav. So the whole, this navigation stuff, this does not have any height, this does not have any width. So since it does not have any height and width, so it cannot take padding, it cannot take the space between stuff. So we need to give some height and width to it. So I would say that it should have a width. And why just give a width? We can give a minimum width, right? The minimum it should have this width. It should be something around 500 pixel. When I say this, yeah, now this is what we were assuming, right? Ye hame chahiye tha. This is what we wanted, right? Now, if you'll hover on this, you can see that this has a height now. This has a width of minimum of 500 pixel. Can you see it? It says 500 cross 21.83. This is the height of what it is taking. We don't care about height now, so we are still satisfied with it. We are only concerned about the width. So width is what we have figured out. After figuring out the width, right? Other thing is, we don't want these bluish icon. We don't want this underlined stuff. So to remove this, what we can do is we can select this one, nav bar. Then we can select all the anchor tags which are written inside it, just like this. Now we can, so first of all, remove the color. So we can say, what is it? There is something like decoration, right? Yeah, text decoration. We can make it none. So the underlines have just been removed. Other thing is, you don't want the color to be what? You don't want the color to be blue. What is the color here? I think that is black only. We can still check it. It's not exactly black, it's something else. 1 second. The color is something like this. So we can copy this and we can say the color of this should be this. We get back here, you can see the color is something like what we have expected. Acha, the font is also not the same, right? You can see the font here looks completely different than this one. So to get that font, we can again check on that font. 1 second. Yeah, they're using font. What font they're using? Can I find that font here? Just one sec. Uh, yeah, this is the font that they're using. So I'll just copy it, and I have to check that if this font is something which is web safe. Web safe font mean that, let's just add it on top only. Okay. So by the way, web safe font means that if the font that you're using is directly available without even importing it. So yeah, I do believe that this font is available, right? We don't have to import anything, and this is available. So this is the same thing that we can use. We can use the same font, and we were able to get it. तो ये करने के बाद हमने we have got this design, we have got the font. What else is remaining? I think almost we are done. We need to get this basic styling. We can just remove the color from the navigation bar. So we can remove this. Yeah. Now it is something looking like what we wanted, right? There are other things we can see. The superscript ka color is different. So let's just see what it is representing to. The superscript ka color is something like this. So we can still do that. Inside navigation bar, dot nav bar, inside anchor tag. Inside we have a super tag. So we can say inside the super tag, we can have the color to be what we have just copied. And yes, this is something, this is matching the color that we have got from here. One more thing that I can find is the font sizes and the font weight is slightly different here, right? It is more dense and it is less than that. I mean, it is, the font size is less. So the superscript is something like 10 pixel, I believe. Yep. So let's just get this as font size of 10 pixels. Yeah, something like this. And we can also check what is the initial size of this one. Padding is something that we can do later, but yeah, font size that they're doing is 14 pixels. So we can still do it. We can go to our header directly, or we can go to our nav bar and we can say font size is what was it? 14 pixels? Yeah, 14 pixels. So for 14 pixel, if I write, sorry, not this, but 14 pixel. If I do it, now it looks something close to what we had here. Achha, we also had to give font weight. So font weight is, achha, we can copy these properties, right? Why are we waiting our time? Why are we investing our time here? So we can do this. Perfect. Achha, this property of text transformation, right? What will this help you in? Is we have written the content in a mixed case. We have used first letter as capital, remaining as small letters. But when we use this property, all the letters will get capitalized. Now this looks more clear to more similar to what is presented in your web page. We still have this missing, this underline. We'll add that later. But yeah, I hope you were able to get this basic navigation done. I'll now enable the chat, and I'll now allow you some time to understand this, to absorb this. And in case you are having any questions of what properties I've used, why I've used those properties, you can quickly ask that in the chat sections. So yeah, now I have allowed the chats. Quickly go through the code, and I'm sure you have been following me when I was writing all of this. Anything which you were not able to understand, and which you feel like why we have added it, what is the purpose of that? For capitals, I've used this text transform property, right? This would transform all the letters from normal letters to upper cases. Yeah, that is the CSS code that you can see. First segment, let's just completely see the first segment, right? आप एक बार first segment देख लो. And once you are done with the first segment, I can scroll it down to this segment, the remaining segment. Yeah. Perfect. Yeah, I've scrolled it up. Okay, justify content. I've used it. Yeah, let me just take the questions quickly, one by one. You might be having a lot of questions. Code until now is this. You have already seen that we have just created the navigation bar this much, right? After that, you were asking about what? You were asking how do you get the new? I have got this new to come up by adding this super tag. This tag is something that you can use to get a super script, something like something written on top of a text, aisa kuch. And I've given them some styles using particular CSS. We'll go after the. You will get this code in the same repository. मैं इसमें add कर दूंगा बाकी का code and you can get it there from this repository. Flex मतलब अब देखो, that's why I was explaining it earlier. मतलब flex में अभी for the moment, let's just understand that flex something helps you sorting out, not exactly sorting out, but placing elements in a what do you say, in a very beautiful manner. Yeah, let's just say that. You can see, right? We have equal space from there. Initially, we have used a flex to this is one container, this is another container, this is third container, and this is fourth container, right? So all those four containers are equidistant from each other. This as a whole, this as a whole, and this as a whole. Inside this particular container, we have again used a flex. इस कंटेनर के अंदर भी हमने दोबारा flex लिख दिया है because I wanted to again have these small sections and all of these sections should be equidistant from each other. So this is what we have done. I hope it's understandable. Yeah, responsive we are not making because we don't have anything to reference as how would they behave in a responsive manner. But right now we are just starting with this only. How Myntra logo is placed. Myntra logo is placed by using a container inside which IMG is placed, and rest is the magic of Flexbox. I told you, right, कि Flexbox ऐसी magical property है कि आप कुछ भी बनाओगे तो घुमा फिरा के आपको Flexbox लगाना ही पड़ेगा. Flexbox is a property that anyhow will be used if you want to place things in a beautiful manner. The space between logo and the first link is more compared to the website. Could be that. Could be that. We'll figure it out. See, we'll also add this search box, right? That is also going to take some space. We are also going to add those action bars, so that is also going to take some space. That's a good observation, by the way. That the space here is much. We'll also figure it out. Don't worry. Right now, it's not complete. We have still a lot of way to go. Okay, what I have done, if I'll have to tell you, I've gone through the Myntra stuff. I've gone to the network tag and I've gone to this images section. यहाँ जाके मैंने एक एक करके images देखी थी. I'll show you once again. यहाँ जाके I've loaded all the images like that. यहाँ से you can see. Just one second. Come on. Yeah. From there you can see all the resources you can load. So यहाँ से I've loaded all the logos and icons and etc. So yeah, you can also do that. But I think I've already given you the resource from where you can directly use the images. So no need to do that. अभी के लिए. More than one navigation. Yep. I can see the lot of questions is coming. Yes, you'll get the copy of quotes and font family. You will get it. Don't worry. Don't worry about font family and etc. आप यहाँ से देख लो या तो you'll get the code later. Don't worry. Okay. Too many things. I'm really sorry, guys, but I cannot read all of the questions because I have a lot of things to do. If there is anything important that you want to know, maybe all of this I have already answered. कुछ घुमा फिरा के तो. अच्छा हाँ, दिस थिंग यू माइट बी आस्किंग कि ये कैसे आ रहा है, ये थिंग, राइट? ये मॉडल साइड ऑफ थिंग कैसे आ रहा है? दिस विल नॉट बी एबल टू replicate now because for that we have to do other couple of things. I don't want to make it complicated. We'll just make it this part. We'll not make the drop down. We'll just make the first part, right? First part of it. Yeah. No, not only in the Inkata, कहीं भी use कर सकते हो. Yeah. Sir, why you didn't use Flexbox for hidden nav? We have used this for separating the navigation item. मतलब ये किया तो है navbar के अंदर. देखो, if I'll show you inside the navbar, what are we using? We are using Flex only. We have used Flex 2 times, na? One for the main stuff, another is for this one. Yeah. I mean, we can do it, but the Problem still says is that we have a little less time, right? If we get more time, like if at the end of the time we'll say, okay, we have a good time remaining, then we can discuss the approach. We can even do some part of partial code for that. Don't worry. Okay. Flexbox is used to any box in a beautiful manner, right? Yes, I mean Flexbox is something which you can read more about it, right? About Flexboxes. I would share some resources on Flexbox, don't worry. But the main thing about Flexbox is that you can place things in equidistance. You can place things in any arrangement if you know Flexbox. You can do that anywhere. All right, now we can get back. ठीक है, हम वापस जा सकते हैं उस वाले session में. We can continue with this one. And now the remaining part is how we can get that search box, how we can get that action button. Once we are done with it, we can again come back and we can have a quick session. We can have a quick round of queries. 1 second. Oh, my God, I can't tell you, right? I feel like it feels like I've been talking since ages, but yeah. All right, let me again have a sip of water. I think I'll have. All right, we can get back. Dot log container. Log container तो नहीं लिखा होगा. I'm sure I'm not written. Logo container, right? When I write dot logo container, it will automatically create a division with a class of logo. This is a shortcut in CSS. Yeah. All right. With this, now it's slightly challenging part. अब इसके बाद थोड़ा सा challenging part आएगा, where we have to get this search box done. Now this is going to be slightly tricky. अब इसमें क्या करेंगे अपन? What we will do in this part is we need to get this thing done. So to get that thing, what we are planning is we are planning the search box under, where is it? Yeah. In this, we can have a division inside which we can have a search icon and we can have the remaining search box, right? You know, right? You can use an input box, but input box won't allow you to add an icon here. Input box won't allow you everything. So what we would do is, let me cover up the navigation here. Let me also cover up this. Inside search box, we'll have two parts. We'll have a span where we'll write the search. We'll write icon here. We'll have an input tag where we'll write the search box, right? We again want to give some classes to this. So let's just say I'll write the class later. So this is for the icon. I cannot write this in this way. Chalo. In this, now the question arises, how are you going to get this icon here? This looks like an icon, right? Where is it? This looks like an icon, but how are you going to use that icon? You can use a lot of things. You can use font awesome. Font, yeah, font Google's dot font be something that you can use. I'll also open it up. I can use font awesome. Yeah, this one. And I think there are a couple of other libraries, but font awesome is one of the very commonly used. Again, another one which is this Google fonts. So you can borrow some fonts at the same time. You can borrow some icons from here. Like for an example, if you want to borrow, what was that icon? Search icon, right? So you want to borrow search icon, so you can search for search. And what icon does look? Yeah, this one looks like the one. So you can click on this, and as soon as you click on this, since it is something that you're borrowing from the internet, right? This is not locally present on your project. So you need to add a reference. You need to add this, yeah, link you need to attach. So you'll just copy it. Yeah, you can just copy it from here and you can place it in your section like this way, right? You can see that the fonts ka reference, the CDN that we generally say, this is the URL that will bring all the icons in your page. So once you have added that, if you are planning to use the search icon, so you can go down here and yeah, this one, right? This one you can copy and you can use it instead of this place. Let me just get it in one single line. So once you do it, sorry. Once you do it, so sorry. Come on. Once you do it, yeah, you will be able to see that, yeah, perfect, right? I can see that search icon coming here. Isn't this beautiful? I've simply got a search icon. You can also borrow this from Font Awesome, but let's just only continue with the Google fonts because that's the simplest approach. So you have just got a search icon here. At the same time, you have got an input area, right? We have got both of this, but it does look nothing in front of this. We have this in a beautiful manner. Both of them look in a synced way. So now the challenge that we have is how we can align it, how we can add it in such a beautiful manner that it would look something like this way. So to get that done, what we can do, we can have some styling from here. We can add the relevant classes. I can say it is for search icon. I can give some classes, right? And this is for search text or search text. Yeah. Now the difference will not be nothing, right? We have still not done anything here. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to first of all give the height and width to this search bar, because once I'm able to give a height and width through the search bar, then only I can, and also once I am able to give a background color to this, then only I can arrange those things internally. It is like it is a parent. I can also show you here. Yeah, it is like a parent. Can you see it? It is like a parent inside which we have two containers, inside which we have two things. This, the icon, and then this, the search text, right? So to get that, what I'm going to give it some height and width. So height, I think, should be similar to the Myntra icon. So let's just say I'll go here. Let's add search box. Let's add for navigation. And for logos, I mean, that's obvious. For search box, what we can do something like, we can give dot search bar. After search bar, we can do something. We can give it a height of 40 pixels, just like the logo that we have given. Logo ko 40 diya na? Yeah, 40 pixel we can give. That's good. Now, something that we are missing is we are missing a width, because width here is immense. This also, this does not have a, this have a, what do you say, background color. So we can give some background color, we can give some width, etc. So we can do something like a minimum width also can be given here. So I would say, where is it? Minimum width. Not of none, but something like, I think 300 to 400 pixels will be fine. Yeah, now you can see it has this much of length. This looks good, right? And let's see what is the minimum width that they have given. If they've even given a minimum width. Yep. Font size 40 pixel, line height, box sizing, content box. So we can get the same designs, right? Background color, let's just copy from here. Let's just say that it has a background color. Sorry. And what was the thing that I was telling you earlier is that designing is something that you can do on the way. You can go to the thing that you want to clone. You can borrow the designs from there. You can just literally copy paste it here, and you can do it in your own way, right? This is sort of thing that we are doing, right? We are borrowing the designs from here. We are just printing, we are just implementing it here, right? This is the way that you do cloning. Although the clone that we are not doing right now, it's not very similar. Exact ditto copy to nahi hai uska. It's not exact replica of it, but we are still learning, right? We are still in the learning phase. So for a beginner's perspective, for an intermediate perspective, I think still it's a good approach. Still we are, we are at a very good level. We are still able to match it up. Anyways, so once we have got it, other thing is how we can get this whole height and width, and how we can make this input box to cover up the complete area. Let me see, anything else are we missing? We have given height, we have given this. One thing is this has to be on center, right? This icon has to be on center. So we can say the search box can also be a flex. Why we have given it as flex? Because yeah, this is in the center, but still this is not coming in the center. Maybe we have to give margins, paddings to figure it out. Anyways, we'll do that later. Other thing is I want this second. There is a property in flex, by the way, that when you have flex and when you have two items in the flex, this is flex item 1, this is flex item 2. When you want the other item to complete all the area, all the width available to it, right now you can see this is the complete width available. But this input box is not completing, it's not covering that complete area. So to do that, you can use a step, which I will tell you. You can use search text. This can do something like flex grow, and you can use 1. Once you do that, yes, can you see it? Now it is taking the complete remaining area. We wanted the input area to cover all the area which is available to it. That's what it has done. It has completed all the area which was available to it. तो ये करने के बाद हमने area complete करा दिया है. Another thing which is looking very bad is why is it having this underline? So we can say I don't want you to have any underline, so I can say border has to be 0 or none, whatever. Let's just say while writing none, what happens? Yeah, border is removed. Achha, border none is something that will go out. So let's write 0. Okay, still it is there, but why we are not able to get it? Maybe you are getting it, but okay, we'll figure out why the background color is going wrong. We can change it. We can change it later on. Let's just do the same thing. 0 करके भी कर सकते हैं, none करके भी कर सकते हैं, no problems. Yeah, now it looks good, right? Now it definitely looks good, but the problem again is that when I'm hovering on this, when I'm selecting it, it still is getting the border, right? Right now here, does it get the border, right? Does it get this border area? No, it does not. So there is an approach that we can do to fix it up. The approach is you can use pseudo classes. What exactly are the pseudo classes? Pseudo classes are the, pseudo classes acts on, what is a pseudo class for that? I think it's focused. Yeah, so as I was saying, pseudo class is something which acts on a particular state of an element. Right now, if I'll focus on the search text, I don't want any outline to be there. So I don't want outline. So when I write this, as soon as we select it, you can see there is no outline it is performing. We can also say color वगैरह हम change कर सकते थे, कुछ भी कर सकते थे इसमें, but let's just only focus on this one. So now, even if I focus on it, you cannot see any outline happening. So by using this some pseudo class, you can do it. Acha, one more thing you can find is while hovering on this, you can see a border is coming around. You can also get this done. ये भी कर सकते हो आप by using a pseudo class of hover. I will do that later. I've not done it right now. I'll do that later maybe, right? Because that's just a very minute step. We want to get the basic design done. The modification we can do later, but the basic design has to be there. So for the basic part of design, we have still focused on this one. So this navigation is almost done. We need to have a placeholder here. Search for products, brand, and more. Search for products, brands, and more. Something like this. Yeah, something like this only. So once I do this, it looks kind of a similar, kind of that. Maybe font is slightly low. Font is what they are using. We have to do that. But yes, something like this we have got achieved. We can see that some padding has to be there. Something needs to be fixed in the icon. So let's just first of all fix the icon and then we can think of the other one. तो ये करने के बाद हम आइकन को थोड़ा फिक्स करने की कोशिश करते हैं. Let's just fix the icon here. So search icon. What exactly are we missing from here? The icon is this. It needs a little padding. It needs a little stuff around it. Let's just see. I'll try to see what I can get from here. Height and width so given, and that's good. Can we find anything apart from this? Box sizing. Let's just try this one. Box sizing in this one. Height, width. Okay. After that, what else we can give here? We can also give it some color. We can give a background color. Background color is already given to this main container, so I think it should still stick to that. We have already given this flex grow. We have already given this. So yeah, thoda sa padding has to be there. Needs a little padding and little height width. Yeah, let's just give a padding. And what sort of padding you can give? Let's just give it a padding of 10 pixels. Let's see. Yeah, that looks sort of say like that looks kind of what we wanted. Yeah, right. That's something. Okay, the color is slightly different, right? So let's just go with this color. Let's see if you can borrow this color. Okay, this color was F5, F6. So what was the color? This one. Let's just borrow this. We have to add this. Yeah. Okay, why is the color not visible? Okay, color is not visible because the background we have used is same as this, right? Kuch to aisa hai. I think we've got the color. We have got the wrong color, yeah? No, the color looks this only. This background colors look this. Okay. Then what is this background color? Why is this different then? Okay, I think we are not able to tap into the correct color. What exactly is this color, right? Okay, I'm not sure what color is this. Background is F5, F5, F6, F5, F5, F6. Exactly. No, that is border, right? What is the color? I think this is the color. Let's see. All right. Okay. Thought of that. I'm not sure if we have actually tapped into that color. Not sure if this is the exact color, but yeah, we can work with it, right? I mean, it's still doable. It's still something close to it. Okay, so we have got it, but still something we are missing is we are missing this curved edges now. I think width is something we are missing. Maybe let's just make from 300 to let's make it 400. Will that look fine? That's something, or maybe should we make it 500? Let's just settle for 400 only. Yeah, sort of similar we are. The only thing that we are missing now is the curved edges, right? They have slightly curved edges, I believe. Yes, they have slightly curved edges. In our case, we don't have curved edges, so let's just give them curved edges. So to give curved edges, we have to give this to the whole container, kya? Or should we give it directly to the icon and input? I just think we need to directly give it to the icon and container. So we can give border radius. Achha, we have to give this semicolon, border radius. We can give, we want to give from this and this section, right and left we don't want to give, sorry, right and yeah, left we don't want to give. So the border radius go top, right, left, bottom. So top may we want to give 4 pixel, right may we don't want to give anything, left may we don't want to give this, in the bottom we want to give this. Okay, does it look like what we wanted? Doesn't seem like it. Search icon. Actually, we don't want to give this to search icon. Do we want to give it to search icon? Hmm. Should we change it to something more? Let's see. We're still not able to get it. Why search icon is the class search icon? Let's see. Let's see. Yep. Why we are not able to get that radius? Are we getting it? Are we not getting it? Maybe let's just try it with the, yeah, maybe let's just try it for the search box. Yeah, it's good, right? It's good with it. So let's just say 444 pixel. Let's just write 4 pixel everywhere. So yeah, it is something what we wanted it to. Okay, the left side is done, the right side is not done. Why? Acha, maybe because the input text was having it. So input text is, you know, is doing problem with it. So what we can do, we can also do this same thing into the input text, and that should get this done. Yes, exactly. This is what we wanted, right? Can you see it? It's curved from both edges now, right? It's sort of similar of what we had here. Not sure if this is exactly 4 pixel, but yes, I believe it's something we are very close to it. Yeah, it was 4 pixel. Yeah, 4 pixel, right? I hope you were able to get this box done with me. Okay, just let me just quickly unmute. I mean, allow you to speak, allow you to share your opinions. So what do you think? Uh, have we gone slightly closer to it now? Might not be fully there, but yeah, slightly closer we are at least to this one. Maybe if placeholder text we need to change or some things we need to change, but yeah, we are slightly there. Okay, so minimum width we have given just to make sure that even if the content is not there, it should maintain a minimum height and width of that. Yeah. Width is basically when you give a width, it will maybe shrink if the if the content is not there, but for the minimum width, at least it will maintain that width. Right? Don't worry about writing code. Don't worry about exactly. Don't worry about कि हमने क्या क्या लिखा है, you will all be able to see it and I am writing it in front of you. मैं कोई अलग से कुछ नहीं लिख रहा हूँ, I am just writing it live in front of you. So you will be able to understand even after the session ends. So yeah, we were able to do that. After meeting, the recording is available, don't worry. हाँ, in your case it might not be doing it. So आपको क्या करना है, Command Option C press करना है. You will be able to see that option. In Windows, I'm not sure, to Google it. How to open inspect in Chrome Windows. Yeah. Shortcut लिख दो. Control Option C. Press Control Option C. You'll be able to see that. Yeah. For Mac, it's Command Option C. हाँ, I'm telling you, right? Maybe icon में थोड़ा बहुत इधर उधर हो रहा है. We might be still missing something of it. So I think these things we can ignore अभी के लिए, because we have a lot of other things to implement. Although the major part of the site was this navbar only. Remaining things are just an easy peasy task. But still, we have somehow reached at almost looking same things. We'll have to correct this action button, then we can cover up the later thing, and then we can come back later and we can do the all minor modification तो बाद में भी हो जाएंगे. The main thing is there, main thing should be there. Yeah, this is one thing we can do. I would be asking for it, because I told you, right, I've been speaking continuously and I was having a little headache before starting the session. I had consumed a lot of caffeine just to be able to cope up. But anyways, now I think we can have a quick 2-minute ka timer. I'll just quickly run a 2 minutes ka timer here. And in that, you can go through the code. Yeah, you can go through this code and you can ask if you were not able to understand anything, right? In the background, I'll run a quick 2 minutes timer. Or maybe what I think is, maybe we can complete. Okay, let's just do one thing. Let's just complete the complete header, right? एक बार header complete कर लेते हैं. We can complete the header once and then we can go for a break, right? How do you think? Yeah. And I'll put the code, right? I'll also put the code in the repository here so that you can also view it live from your system. That would be great, right? No database will be there. I'll talk about block sizing. Let's just complete this, right? Because till then we will almost be hitting 9. So I think 2 घंटा non-stop हो गया तो थोड़ा सा break we can deserve. All right. Perfect. It's good to see that you guys are still here. You guys are still responding. You guys are still, actively listening to this. That's really good. That gives me sort of a motivation to continue, even with a small headache. But yeah. All right, then let's continue with this one, right? Let's just quickly get it there. Let's just quickly get done with the remaining part of it. The remaining part is this action button. In this action button, I'm again going to go with the same approach. कि पहले icon उठाते, let's just complete the icon, and then we would be adding the remaining stuff. So how I'm planning to get this basic action button, I'm again going to go with the same approach. I'll going to have the search box यहाँ हटा देते हैं. In this action button, action container, whatever. There should be नहीं, action containers के अंदर होना चाहिए ना, action bar होना चाहिए ना यहाँ पे. Action bar should be there. Inside this, we can have ACTION action container. I want them 3 times, so I'll just write the complete one and then I'll do that. In this, you can see that we have the icon first and then we have a title here, title of this icon. So I can say I want to have action icon, something like that. After that, I also want to have action name. In this action icon, what I want to have is I want to have the complete icon. So let's search for what? Let's search for this profile. What looks more similar to this? Okay. I think we can even settle for this one. So I can use it. यहाँ से. And why there is a need of division when I can directly write it? Yeah. And I can give a class here, right? I can give a class of what? Action icon. Here I can give the name. What is the name? Profile has to be the name, right? Yeah, profile has to be the name. Once I go back here and I check, it looks kind of a similar. मतलब थोड़ा वैसा ही लग रहा है. Again, the style and everything is not matching. We'll match it up later. But yeah, let's just quickly get it done. Let's just quickly get the same structure 3 times. Boop, zoop, zoop. We have got it 3 times. I've just copy pasted them below. I was using a shortcut. I think 3-4 बार मैंने paste कर दिया, तो एक बार हटा देते हैं. Now it looks good. After profile, we wanted what? We wanted a wish list. So let's just change it to wish list, and let's search for wish list here. Or let's just search for say FAVOURITE. Yep, this one. Not good with spellings. So yeah. Copy it, pasting it here, assuming that we would get favorite icon. Okay, all right, favorite is also there. Next up is this bag. Let's search for bag here. Bag. Not the trash bag. Let's see. Let's just go for this one. This looks more apt. Shopping bag. We're going to change it to this. And I'm a huge advocate of putting that into all one line. So I'll again do that, and I will change it to what was it? Back. Going back, you can see this looks what we wanted. Okay, now you might be thinking, okay, profile is not visible. What sort of design you have bring, right? Now let's talk about that, right? Now this is something very, very interesting. I want you to help me here. That I again want to use the flex box here. I again want to use this flex box design here, but this time I cannot use that row design, right? Why I can't use that row design? The row style, because this is not coming in the row. Action. For that, I should write action bar, and I want to have a display of flex. This is the design that I'm telling you. We'll use flex here. But flex, okay. Okay, flex is good. That's really good. But I'm still not able to get that in the correct in the correct stuff. So how can I get that in the correct order? What should I use? Or if this is fine also? मतलब हमें इसमें कोई अलग चीज करने की जरूरत है कि यहाँ से चली जाएगा. I believe this should do it. This should do the job because this is what we wanted. We wanted to place them in this particular order, right? Yeah. Acha, I forgot that the text was disabled, but I think you will be giving mental answers at least. So yes, this is done. We are able to get it. The next thing is we want them to be in the same order, right? I mean, profile icon should be totally in center of this profile text. Wishlist should be totally in center of this. So we will think of some way, but I think this basic part is done. We can also give a minimum height width stuff here. We can give a minimum width so that it will look even. Let's just set it for 200. Looks good. We can give space between space evenly कुछ तो दे सकते हैं. Justify just to give equal space. देखो why I'm giving the equal space. See, you'll have your own answers now. See, you know, right? There is that much area available to it. That much area is available to it. So I want to utilize that area. This purple is the empty area that we have. So to give that, I can think of giving justify content of even space between. या तो space evenly भी दे सकते हैं. Nice. Doesn't this look good? This definitely looks good. Now that is good, but still we are missing something, that this is not coming on center of it. So to do that, I can think of a way. I can think of a way of going to action containers, going it this way. And what I can do, what I can plan of doing is, I can now use this display of flex here. And inside this, I can use the direction to be column. Yeah, this is column, right? But I still want them to be in the center. So how can I get them in the center? To get them in the center, this time I don't have to use this time I don't have to use justify. I have to use align items, because you already know the concept of, right? Yes. Now does that look on the center of the vertical axis? This is exactly in the center of the vertical axis now. This, because this is the main axis here, and that's why sorry, this is not the main axis, but this is the cross axis. Yeah. And since it is column, so that is why we've used this center here. I hope you were able to see the difference that it made, right? Even if I'll change it now, just let me change it. See, this doesn't look good. I have just made it good. Oh, come on, what I was saying, it was not vertical, it was horizontal axis. Sorry, I just realized I was using the wrong term for that. Yeah, it is in the center of your vertical axis now. This is in the center of vertical axis. This is also in the center of your vertical axis. Not vertical, but horizontal, sorry. right? So something like that we were able to achieve. Almost something similar. There might be some colors or there might be some font weight and font size issues. We'll fix that later. But yes, let's just fix it now. Let's just fix it only. What is the font size that they're using here? Font size that they're using is 12 pixels. So let's just use the 12 pixel font size in this. Let's say font size. Now that looks exactly like the way that they were using. We can even give them a bold font weight is 700. Not exactly right. This is what they had made something like this. Is that something clear? And it looks kind of similar, right? I can still bet that it is not looking exactly the same, but somewhat same we are able to achieve it. Yes. Let me just let me just enable this option. What do you think, guys? Does were we able to achieve almost something similar to this? Not fully, but certainly something close to it. All right, that's really good. Flex direction represents where are the boxes going to be aligned? In what direction? Oh God, thanks. With this, we have fully completed the navigation bar, and that is what would take most of the time, right? सबसे ज्यादा मुश्किल इसमें फ्लेक्स navigation bar बनाना ही था. Remaining is just a matter of minutes. ये भी बहुत जल्दी बन जाएगा. This will also get in a fraction of minutes because this is just we have to use flex direction property. हम flex लगाते जाएंगे और ये बनता जाएगा, right? So with this, I'll talk about this. Don't worry, guys. Now I want to give a quick 7 minutes का break because 7 minutes seems like a good time. And एक काम और कर लेते हैं साथ के साथ. हम इसको ना वो भी कर देते हैं, हम इस कोड को पुश कर देते हैं. लेट मी जस्ट पुश दिस कोड विद यू. आई जस्ट यूज सम गिट कमांड्स, गिट स्टेटस, गिट add. Perfect. And I should also push it. Yeah. So what you will be able to see now is, yeah, now you can go back to the same code. It's the same link. No issues. Yeah. This code is now available here. You can see the complete HTML file. You can see this. HTML देख सकते हो आप इसका. Yep, this is the updated HTML. You can also check the style. This is the updated style. So you can go there and you can have a look at the code. And I'm running a 7 minutes timer here. Right? Yes, the 7 minute timer is up. So I'll focus on the 7 minute timer now. For the code, you can go back to the link that I've shared. I'll share it once again. Yeah, I've shared it a couple of times now. तो आप इसको देख लो एक बार, right? Exactly after 7 minutes, we'll continue with this one because I too think that I need a break. I've been speaking continuously, and you would require a quick time to summarize, to absorb all of this. आप इस code को देखो, just go through the code. If you find that anything is not making sense, anything you are not able to understand, after the session, after the break, we can quickly come back and we can have a discussion on that. Does that look a good? Does that sound like a good idea? All right, guys. So with this, I'm just quickly giving a quick 7 minutes ka timer break. Yes, recordings will be given. Don't worry. If you have missed the search box, you'll be able to do that. The recordings will be given. All right. So I'm just turning myself on mute. I'm also sharing the screen of timer and I'm also disabling the chats. Please keep your questions ready. After the session, we'll come back. After the break, we'll come back and we'll take that. All right, guys. So I hope you guys are still there. Perfect. All right, cool. I hope you have not left the session and you're still intact with us. And in this session, you have utilized this time to quickly go through the code. I'm sure you must have gone through this, right? And you've gone through it and you might have understood. Okay, that's really good. I've seen some people have started forking it. Some people have started, what do you say, starting it. That's really good. That's really appreciated. Anyways, too many things. Here, why we have taken that. I'll quickly be fast. Don't worry, right? That is the main part where you'll get stuck about creating it. Remaining part is just a flex box. मतलब अब इसमें flex box लगाना बच रहा है. It's mostly like flex boxes. This you can see, right? This is what? This is part of image. This is not what we are writing here. This is all a part of image. So we need to just fix those images and that's it, right? The text, everything is going to be settled. We just need to put those images in the right manner. That's it, right? And the remaining footer is also just a matter of few minutes. All right. So, yep. Exactly. Right. So now people were asking about this particular thing. Let me just quickly, stop the chats here because else we'll have too much flooded chats. हाँ बस बहुत सिंपल है इसको उठा के पटकना है यहाँ पे कॉपी पेस्ट करना है exactly. Why we have used it, Gauthami, right? Margins and padding is something we don't want to get the by default margins and padding what CSS offers us. That's why we have removed it. Box sizing border box, I didn't get the time to discuss it, but to reset the box model property, to not include spacing, to not include margins, to not include these things in the dimension of the box. That's why we use border box. So that's the reason. And for font family, right, we wanted to have the fonts which Myntra was using. So that's why we have borrowed it. All right. So with all of this, I think we are there. We have almost created, we have almost created the header part, the navigation part. The next thing that we are remaining is the main part and the footer part. So we can quickly create the main part. In main part, we have a banner, we have category 1 and category 2. So how we can do that? I'm again planning to go here and I'm just going to hide the section. I'm going to hide the whole header section. Why I've hidden the whole header section? Because the header section is done for me. I don't need to look at that now. Now header section is done. So let's just focus on main section and let's just draw the whole, let's just draw the whole outline of how the main section would look like. According to me, the main section should have 2 to 3 parts, 3 parts precisely. The first is this banner image. You can see, right? There's a banner coming up. The banners will change. We have only one banner selected. I think I'm not sure what banner we have used. I think this banner we have used, right? Let me check. In banners, we have this banner. Yep, exactly. So we would be using this banner. So to do that, I would be having this, banner container, not a banner, but banner container where we'll put that banner. Yeah. After the banner, right inside this, we can directly put that image. So I can think of img, and inside this, I think we can directly start putting that banner, right? So we can say images /banners /banner.png. That's good. Perfect. After putting that image, we can again give it a class, right? Maybe we might be using it banner image, banner img. Perfect. The banner image is done. After the banner image, what else we need in the main section? We need categories. We need first category. We need second category. First is like medal-worthy brands. Second is like global brands, or maybe we can directly go and create the shop by category. If you want, you can go with grand global brands. We can have multiple other sections, but I think if we were able to get one, that's more than enough. Or we can just copy paste it. You just need to change the images, right? Same here, no? The heading is same. The images are placed in the same manner. Just the images will be different. So if you want, I am just going to create one section. The remaining section you can just copy paste and you can just change the images. So what we are going to do, we are going to say that in this we are going to have a category section and then we are going to have the category items. So I would say dot category heading is first we require, because we want to have this heading global brands and whatever grand global brands. Second thing, we need to have those items here. So let's first of all write what we want to have here. Let's say we are going to write middle worthy brands to bag. So let's write middle worthy brands to bag. After that, we want to have another section where we'll put all those images, put all of these images. And as I've told, we are not going to make them scrollable right now because we don't want to use any complicated stylings. We just wanted to start with the basic stuff. So we can have this dot category items. Inside this, we'll place all those images, right? All the item images will be placed. Perfect, right? That is what we wanted it to look like, right? Middle of the branch to back. We go back here, we will be able to, I think we can now. Okay, yep. You can see the image is not looking good, right? Why is it not looking good? Because it is having a horizontal and vertical scroll. Vertical scroll, it's not problem, but you never want to have a horizontal scroll, right? It is something that you would never recommend. So we will think of how we can fix it. But yeah, first of all, let's fix the banner image and then we can talk about the remaining ones. So how would we want to fix that banner image? We want to fix that banner image. Sorry, let's just go here and let's just try to use this banner container. Banner container. I think we should give a width of 100%. That's it. That should solve the problem for us, right? We should say that it should have a yeah, it should have a width of 100%. We can give a width of 100 VW. VW means the complete width. Yep, that's good. Inside that we can have dot. Acha, one common thing which people think is there's a common thing that I've seen people doing incorrect is that you will think that, okay, I have given the width to this container, right? I've given the width to the container. Why is the image not automatically working? Why is the image still overflowing this? So it's a very common thing to do that when you give the width to the container, you also have to give the width to the image to be 100%. If you give 100%, then it will automatically fit inside the container that you have suggested. Now, can you see it? Just by writing this width equals to 100%, since the banner container was having 100% VW, now the image is also containing fully inside that container. So this is the trick to use. Always have a container outside your image and always give the width of the image to be 100%. You can see I've given the style to the image now, not to the container. Container ka style I've already given here. Does that look good? I think that does look good. You can still think that I think there is this little margin, right, that they have on top. Yeah, there is a little margin that they enjoy from top. So if you want, you can also give a margin. Margin or margin top, whatever you feel like doing. They still have a margin from below, kya? Yeah, they also have a margin from below. So let's just give a margin of top and bottom. So give margin of 0, 50. Sorry, not 50. What should I give? What should I give? I think let's just settle for 40 pixel. Let's see how would that look. Looks good, right? Oh, I think 40 is too much, right? So let's just go for 30. Something, yeah, something like that, I believe. It's looking good, right? Yeah, almost there. Yeah. Acha, one more thing you might be thinking, there is a border, box border, right? There is something like a shadow effect that they have. We can also replicate that. I think we have to go through it, what shadow effect that they are going. So I'll use Command Option C. Let me see if I can find that here. अगर मैं ढूंढ सकता हूं तो I'll try to find it up. If not, then we can give our own custom border stuff. Yeah. So I'll think of box. Yes, exactly. We can do that. So I can copy it. Yeah, I can copy the complete style from here and I can add it to the header that they've added now. Yeah, so I can add to the header and I can say, all right, perfect. Let's see if we can. Perfect. Can you see it? Perfect. It looks very nice. It looks very, very good. It has that border effect. It has a box shadow now. That is looking like, that is shaping very well. I guess you can see that. I'm very excited to see it's getting shaped very, very similar to what we had in here. I think the icon is slightly larger in our case, but maybe we can fix it. What is the icon what is the size of icon that they're choosing? It's 53 and 36 now. The height is what? Height is 36. So let's just make the height to be 36. Like then the height is not 40, it's 36. Now it looks similar. Yes. What do you think, guys? I strongly believe maybe the font is also something we need to check. We need to change the font size. The font is what? It's where's the font size? 14 pixels. Are we changing the font size? I don't think we have done it. Maybe some font size we need to work on, maybe, or we need to give padding. I think they have given padding. We have not given the padding. So we will think of padding. We'll think of giving some padding here. We can give this padding of 17 pixel. Maybe let's just go to the padding later. I think it's more or less is shaping very good. So banner to ho gaya, right? Our banner is done. Any quick questions you want to ask? Any quick questions you want to ask till the banner stuff? Banner tak koi problem hai kya? It's looking good, right? It's pretty easy. Now the next thing is how to fix header. Acha, for that you can use a sticky. You can use a sticky. Right now they're not using it. I mean we are not using it. We'll use the sticky property, and or we can use even a sticky is not required here. You can directly use a position equals to fixed. That's it. We'll do that later. Chalo, the banner is done. Let's quickly. We'll talk about that, Rahul. Don't worry. We'll talk about that. Let's quickly make the remaining part, right? एक बार फटाफट बाकी part कर लेते हैं so that you don't feel कि still there is a lot of part yet to be done. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add the remaining part of this heading in this part now. So metal-worthy brands to bag, it's done. Metal-worthy bags to brands to bag, it's done. We need to say that category item is written, category heading is written. After that, I think we can start giving the category heading. We can just start giving the stylings to it. In this, we can say dot this category heading. We can have, first of all, we need to, obviously we need to transform it in this way. We also need to give letter spacing. You can see, right? There's a lot of spacing that they are enjoying. So we'll think of, what do you say? We want to, text transform to uppercase. We can also give some, what do you say? Letter spacing we can give. Letter spacing, we need to find out what is the spacing that they're giving. I'll give here, I'll get here, letter spacing, uppercase. Let's just copy these things. Why are we wasting our time there? Oh God, that's such a good thing we have got, right? Just copy pasting the styles. Let's just see it, right? Almost there, right? Looks like the same thing, right? Doesn't it look like the same thing? Yeah, it does look like almost the same thing that we have got from here. Yeah, right. Maybe they are using some padding that we are not using. So that's why the font is slightly larger. Anyways, so we have got the heading, right? We have got the heading to be there. The next thing is we need to get those items. We need to get these items here. We need to get all these images there. So how do we get those images there, right? To get those images, we need to first of all add those images here. हमें यहाँ images को add करना पड़ेगा. Then we can give the styles. So to give those styles, to give those images, what I can do is I can remove this line, not required. I think I can add anchor tags. Inside that, I can add href. See, why I'm adding anchor tags is because when you click on this, now you get redirected to the recommended section, to that specific section. Right now, we are not redirecting there. So let's just go back and let's just try to simply add images. The image section, maybe we can get that in the same line or whatever you feel like writing. In images, we can also give some class to get some style here. Class name can be given as sale item, right? Sale item is given. Now we need to put all those offers that we have here, right? We can see minimum best selling casual at minimum this % off, buy one get one free, must have ethnics flat 65% off. So I already have all of these things in with me. I have this in offers. You can see, right? This get elegant design minimum 70% off. Get this designer saris under 699. So I already had these things with me. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to add those things one by one. I'm going to add this maybe sale offer, which I can write an alternative text. I can also add, it's a good thing to have alternative text. Banner image. It was also in the logo. So let's just say logo. Let me write all the alternative text. Myntra logo. Why do we write alternative text? When due to internet issues, maybe when images will not be able to load, then those text would be visible. So yeah, metal-worthy brands. Now we can start adding those images. So source could be images / offers /1, and I can do that a couple of times. Category items has to be there, right? So category items ke andar, I think we can just get it a couple of times like this way. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's see how many we can put. How many we can put it here. Let's just for the timing in. Okay, are we not able to put those images? Acha, we need to also add the extension, right? Dot png. Let's just do it. I'll use a shortcut sort of thing. I'll select all the lines at once and then going to write this. Perfect. Now you can see all the images coming up very, very nicely. Isn't this very, very good? Isn't this cool? Yes, this looks very, very cool to me. We can get it in one line. We can get it multiple lines, whatever you feel like doing. Yeah. We can also get some padding. Yeah. I think this has to be some paddings, some margins to get from there. Let's just see what else can we do. I have added the category heading. I have to add this category items now. So I should say category items. I have to say that yeah, category item ko I need to say that the whole thing, right? The whole container has to be a flex. So display has to be flex there. Once the display is flex, we need to also say that we need to wrap in the same line. We don't want to get them in the next line. You can see it, right? So we need to make sure that flex has to be wrapped. Sorry, flex wrap has to be wrapped. So all this has to come in one single line. If this wrap means going into the next line, not in the same line, right? Sorry, I was wrong there. No wrap if you write, then it would come to the same line. Flex wrapping is done. What else can we do? Can we write some space here? Can we write some space here? Yes, we need to give some spaces there. So let's just say space, not space this. Justify content, and we want to have spaces. Do we have spaces there? We don't have spaces from end, so we can give space between. Let's just do this. Yeah, that looks good, right? That kind of look good. And let's just do one thing. Let's only add 4 images because else it is not going to look good. We are not going to get that. Something like this, right? This is what we were doing. Right now, the images look too good. I mean, too big. We can shrink the images. We can get the images size to be slightly less. Let's just say, since it is a sale item, right? So I can say, I can fix the image ka size slightly less. And also when you're giving the size, try to give only one measurement. If you give height, then it will accordingly manage the width. If you give the width, it will automatically manage this stuff. So I think giving width of, what should we give? 250. Nice. We can add more images now. We can add more images. Let's see. 4 images is good. 5 images are good. Remaining 2 we can remove. Not required as such. Looks nice. Doesn't this looks too good, right? I think it looks too good. We can still manage a little padding below this heading. So we can go at the heading. Where is it? Where is it? Heading. We can give margin bottom, or we can still simply write margin. We can give top and bottom margin of. Achha, we have already used a margin. Yeah, sorry. The bottom margin, top, top, right, bottom, right. Bottom has to be 40, 50. Looks good, right? That definitely looks good. Or we can manage it to be 50. Yeah, let's just it be to 50 pixels. Now it is looking almost similar to what we had here, right? You can see there's a very less space. Maybe they have even given it less width, and they were able to manage more pictures here, but I think it still looks good, right? So now we have again got that second section of how to put all those categories here. Ye categories yahan kaise put karni thi? Just 1 second. Yeah, we were able to get the second segment, right? Any problems you have with this? I mean, let me just enable the chat. Anything you want to ask, or does this looks like we have got it? This looks like we are doing some progress, right? We were able to manage it. And totally right. It's just these are some images we need to just put it in the right order, and that should do the job. Itna hi kaam bachega na isme. Why we have used classes? See, why we generally use classes is that देखो अभी इसमें फायदा क्या होगा? Yeah, इसमें फायदा क्या होगा ना कि in this image, what it is, in this classes, I am again going to utilize the same class of category heading, category items for the next section. For this section, I am again going to use the same thing. So why would I write them as ID and then I would write different at different times? So मैं चाहता हूँ that I can reuse it. That's why I've used class. I know, Deepak, that it was a GIF. I have downloaded it and I knew it was a GIF. In that you can see, right, this will change. Price crash, price crash, price crash. But I thought that it will be too flashy, so I've just converted that GIF to a PNG. I had this, I think, somewhere in my download. मेरे पास पड़ा होगा वो. So don't worry. You can put a GIF or you can put that also. VW means complete viewport width. Whenever you want to completely occupy the width of the complete page, you write VW. 100 VW means completing a complete width of your page. Viewport width, yes. Ashwarya, don't worry, right? I'm doing it side by side and I'll also push it to the GitHub repository. So you can find it there. Right now, if you want to see, this is the code. This is the code for category. This is the code that I've written. That's it. Right? Kind of, you can say 100%, but when we say 100%, 100% means 100% to the parent. So VW means 100% of the width available to you. That's more straightforward. In banner, we are getting margin right. We are not getting any margin right in banner. Achha, you might be saying this. This is not margin right. Come on, this is also part of banner. When you'll save this image now, when you'll download, I have seen it, right? I was trying to download that image, but I knew this would look too bad. This is again a part of image. Come on, right? This is again a part of image. All this is a part of image. Yeah. So I thought, why to add those plain banners when we can add a flashy banner like this? So that's the flashy banner that I've chose. Yeah. And there were like movie actresses, and people generally get excited with movie actors and in something, right? And right, Ranveer is also having a movie these time. So I thought, why not leverage it? Yeah. We can even have it on the, what do you say? We can even have it on the thumbnail of this video. Anyways. When you tried working in this, maybe the CSS is not downloaded, it's not linked, maybe something like that could be the problem. ये नहीं लिखा होगा आपने, या नाम गलत लिखा होगा, कुछ ऐसा हो सकता है. Yeah, animal. Yeah, exactly. Also, banner work like an anchor tag, right? Banner also is working. तो maybe अगर आपको ऐसा चाहिए, ऐसा चाहिए तो आप banner को भी anchor से wrap कर दो. No problems with this. Yeah, banner को भी आप anchor से wrap कर दो. There's no problem in it. Right? चलो, I think enough of talk is done. Let's quickly reuse it. अभी देखो नीचे वाले part में you might be thinking, अरे too much of part is yet to remain. We have to do this whole part. How will we do it? No issues, right? We are just going to replicate the same thing. We are just going to change the images and it will be there. Yeah. Come on, let's just get back, right? Else you'll again go back to it. Medal worthy, and this is done. So I'll just use the same thing that once again, right? मैं इसको comment करूँगा, and I'll use the same stuff back here. Same thing. I'll just change the heading and I'll just change the items. That's it, right? I'm only going to do that, and you'll see it is shop by category, right? So I'll just change this text to shop by category, and we should be done. We should be done. And once I go back, right now the images are same. Let's just change all of this. Zoop. And let's just change all of this to what? Banners के अलावा, offers के अलावा क्या था मेरे पास? What else we had? Categories. So let's just say that I want to, come on, I should be saying not this. Categories. Then yep, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops. It didn't go as planned, but yeah, still I was able to manage. 5.png. Okay, these were JPGs, not PNG. So I should be, yep, JPG, and JPG. Let's just see it, right? Okay, all right. That looks almost like what we wanted. We also have to give them class sale offer. Yeah, that was given. Let's just add more images. 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's see how many more we have. 8. Do we have 8? Category slash 8. Yep. We have 8, we have 9, we have 10. So let's write 9, let's write 10. All right. All right. It does look like what we have on Myntra, right? It does look like that. Maybe the sizes might be slightly smaller, would be slightly less, would be slightly larger. You can change it accordingly. I think the size of the image that they are having is slightly less. So let's not make it 250. Let's make it 200. Looks very, very similar to this. Let's add more images here if this allows us to add more images. 6, 7. More closer to what we wanted, right? Yeah. Now we can add more images in this below section. So we can say 10 ke baad 11, 12. 11, 12. I'm not sure if 12 is there. Okay, 11 and 12 are not there, I believe. So we can repeat the images. We can repeat 1, we can 2. The 11 is not there, right? So we can say 1 and 2. That is what we can do. We can add more images. 3, we can add 4. That's what we have on Myntra, and that is what we have here, right? Can you see it? Right, it's almost similar to what we have here. Maybe the the space is slightly less, the size of image is slightly large, is slightly small, but we are still almost close to what we had on Myntra, right? Almost there. We are almost there. We just need to add the footer, and that's it, right? In footer you can see lot many things like this: Play Store, let's get in touch, original item, and etc. We can maybe skip it. We can only get the basic designs like this navigation link, because I think if we will get into all of this, we might not have the time to take your doubts. We might not have the time to discuss the further opportunities or to discuss how to deploy it. So I would like to prefer that experience, like deploying it and having some time to take your queries. So I would just quickly get a basic footer done. I can also skip all these articles and etc. I can directly write this copyright section. I cannot see any copyright, but yeah. अच्छा copyright है ही नहीं इसमें, तो ठीक है, कोई नहीं, प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. अच्छा ये तो है ना, तो we can add this. Maybe we can just add these thing. So let's just quickly make a basic footer अभी के लिए. Yeah, this footer section, let's quickly get it, and then we can have the further discussion. Let me just quickly complete this, guys, and then we will take your questions, and then we will talk about the remaining stuff. Banner is there, category item, category headings, category item. We can now have a footer. In the footer, we want a footer container where we are planning to have the 3 main sections like this one. Category shopping, category policies, or anything, or maybe we can even have 2 ones. So what we can say, we can have a footer container. Footer container. Yep. Inside the footer container, right, we can have multiple 3 columns. We can have footer column. Yep, footer column. We can have this 3 times. Right now we'll just write it once. Yeah. After footer column, we can have some things like basic thing we can have is like this one: online shopping customer policies. We can have this online shopping, not shopping bag. We can have an online shopping. We can have the same thing for this, or maybe we can directly have this some anchor tags below it. We can have the dummy things like men, woman, kid. Sorry. Men, I think this is something we have already written, but let it be men, woman, kid. Let's just write some things only, because footer is something that people don't take care much about. So let's just only add 3 sections. After this, we can write it couple of times. Zoop, zoop. 3 times we have written. We can change from online shopping to, we can change customer policies. Customer policies. And remaining thing is what? It's something like useful links. Links. Yes, useful links is there. And we can also change it like contact us, FAQ, TNC. Contact us, FAQ, and T and C. The last part is useful links में blogs, career, sitemap. Blogs, Blogs, careers, and site. Sorry, sitemaps or sitemap. Right, that's a very basic footer that we have created. Again, we have created the links of the footer. I mean, we have created a structure of the footer, but this footer is not what we wanted it to be like. Acha, one thing is you can see a little horizontal bar is still coming, right? What we can do, from where is it coming? We'll figure it out. But yeah, before that, we need to, maybe this is coming from the minimum width or that. I'll figure it out. I'll maybe have to reduce it. I'll have to do something with this. Maybe ये कहीं यहीं से ही launch हो रहा होगा. I'll look into it. What is the exact issue here? And I can also give a maximum width of this. Just 1 second. Maximum width to this container now. Category items should be. I'll do that later. Let me first of all complete the footer part. So for the footer, I can do two things. The main thing is for footer to be, I mean, footer as such does not require any style. Footer container requires it, right? So I'll say dot footer container, and we can give some display of flex here. Why I want the display of flex? Because I want these three of them to be in the equidistant space, right? So I'll say the footer container, once it is written, this should be equally spaced. So either we can go with the flex, sorry, justify content, and we can go for space between, or evenly. Let's go with evenly. Yeah, that looks good. After that, there is a lot of thing that is required here. But before that, I think the footer ka section ka color is slightly different. Yeah, the color is slightly different. Let's just see what color they are using. Color. Okay, I'm not able to find that color. Why? The whole footer section, right? So they are using, come on. Yeah, this color that they are using, right? So I should be directly giving this color to footer container. I should be saying the color of the footer container should be, the background color should be this. That should be hash in front. The background color is there. The justify content property is already written. Seems like we are there. Seems like we are there. Some padding has to also be given. Padding has to be given. We can just say, maybe we can copy the padding from here. Kya? Padding. Yeah, we can give this padding. Sorry. Let's just reload it because I have altered those design. This padding we can copy, and padding has to be copied. All right, perfect, right? Almost similar of what they were using. We can again use this stuff. Container लिखने के बाद we can say उसके अंदर का column has to be this one is one column of that. So just 1 second. Column, any specific properties required kya? I think in each column now we want the item to be in one single row, in this complete row, in this complete column. So we should directly say that that's good, but what we believe is footer column LUMN. In that we should be having, again, having flex. We can have direction of the flex to be, flex direction has to be column, because I want these text, yes, one below the other, not one aside the other. I think after that we can again have thoda justify or center align kuch kar sakte hain. We can have align items, we can have printer. Is this looking nice? No, I don't think they require it. So let's just remove it because they are not having it center. They are having it on the left side. Anyway, so column is there. Anything else? Padding, etc. No, I don't think. Okay. The other thing is we need to say, we need to, what is it? We need to style this heading and we need to style those stuff. So we can say we need to style this H3, which is inside the footer container. So we can say dot footer container, not footer container, but footer column H3. And then we can say what properties they are having. Let's just copy it from here. So text decoration none, and this, oh no, this is for anchor tag. Now I just want it for the text heading. Just 1 second. Yeah, this one. Huh? So they are having this color, and font is what they are using. Font weight is this, font size is 12 pixels. So let's just say The font size that they're using is 12 pixel. Font size is 12 pixel. And this property of, sorry, color of this. And what else? Yeah, color is done. And what else was there? What I was missing? Font weight 700. So let's just say font weight 700 has to be given. Looking like what we had here. Now we also need to manage it. So let's just say what is the background color, something color is this, and let's just say the color has to be this. So dot footer container column, sorry, inside anchor, we need the color has to be this. The font size is what it was 15 pixels. Okay, I don't think it's 15 pixels, but yeah, 15 pixel. Text decoration none. 15 pixels. Text decoration is none because I don't want the underlines to be present. Right. Okay. This is what we want. अच्छा इसको भी upper case में करना है. So let's just say text transform upper case. Looks good. Looks good. Really good to me. Pointers or padding bottom, nothing like that. We need a little padding from top, right? So H3 should have a padding. Padding top is 14 pixels. So we can even have it here. Padding top. Sorry. We can manage it like this way. Okay, that this needs to also have a padding. Let's just assume that this is also having a padding bottom. So let's just say padding bottom. Let's give it. That looks almost similar to what we wanted, right? I'm sure that it is not. We are not able to replicate the correct way. We are not able to replicate it in a very correct way. But footer is something that rarely people follows. So let's just say that footer is something we can satisfy with this one. And yes, we can add more things. We could be getting sometimes, then we can deal with the remaining one. I mean, as the way that you have written, like 3 divisions you have added: footer column 1, footer column 2, footer column 3, footer column 4 you can add. And in this section you can add some images, you can add some icons, you can add these images you can also get from this section of network. Go to this images, scroll down, you'll be able to find those images, right? This one, sorry. See, there you'll be able to find all the images which gets loaded when you load the page, right? So all these images you'll be able to find. You can pick those images from here and you can just get it sorted from that way. So I believe mostly we are done, right? We have got the footer. We can even, if you want, you can add, what do you say? Yeah, this one also you can add, right? Copyrighted and etc. So I think we can also get it. हम कुछ ऐसा बना सकते हैं just below this footer container, right? We can see what is coming. A line is also coming, so we can even have a HR. Where is it? After that, we can have what? We can have a simple division, right? Where we can say that it's a copyright stuff. So dot copyright, and we can say we can borrow it from here. Yeah, something like this. The design we still not able to get because we need to do them. We can get this यहाँ पे dot copyright. What design we can print from? What design we can get from here? Control Option C. We need to get back to the style. Come on. Yeah, we have to select this. Where is it? Yeah, we can go there. If you want, you can write this also, and let's not totally bother about it. We can have the color to be this. Copyright section, we can go and we can put the color, not columns, but color has to be this. Font size also needs to be checked. Achha, this is right now in center, right? So let's just make it to the center. Should we make it to flex also? Or should we just say text? Right तो नहीं होता ना, right होता है. Let's just see. Or let's just make it to center. Yeah, it's in the center, and we can still change the font size. Kya? Font size need not to be changed. What else? What else? What else we can change? There is some sort of gap we need, right? So let's just say there has to be some padding from top or maybe from all the side. Let's just say 10 pixels. That looks sort of good. Yeah. Acha, we can do one more thing. You can see that there is the padding that the container, the HR can, the HR can enjoy. So what we can do, we can even have the whole thing to the footer. To the footer, we can have a padding, padding from left right side, 0 from top, and maybe a padding of 10 pixels from left right side. So yep, we can do it. And okay, I cannot see any point. Matlab, you can see this thing is getting some padding, but let's just remove it. I don't think it's certainly required. Yeah, right. This is something like what we wanted, right? Again, just to you can see, right, when you start comparing it, you'll see that a lot of things are still missing. We are not able to get that exact all the brands we were not able to get. We have skipped these two segments and we have just created one segment. And in the category section, we have just added some random image. Right now there are a lot many images, but we have just satisfied with few images. In the footer, we have also done some sort of conjuicy in completely building it, because I can see the time is almost around 9:50, right? So it was expected to be of 3 hours. That is why I just quickly wanted to wrap it up now and quickly want to have a discussion with you, in case you feel that, okay, you want to ask some questions, you want to know the further things you can take on with it, and we can discuss. Like, for an example, you want to add other things, you want to add these other you want to make this fixed, right? This is something that you would want, right, to make it fixed on top. So how would you make it fixed on top? How would you make this banner, this sort of thing coming on the right hand side? So let's just discuss it, because majorly, right, the stuff is done, majorly the project is done. You can see it looks very good. I'm not sure about you, but since I had been doing it live, and it's sort of 3 hours it took me, not exactly complete 3 hours to build it, but yeah, something around 2 hours I've taken to complete it. So it looks really good to me. Anything you want to ask, anything you want to have a discussion, any questions you want to ask, please go ahead, and let's just consume this time to ask some question, and let's just try to think of further approaches you can take. Okay, really really thanks. It's really good to see all of those things coming up. And it's not about just about the stuff that we have done. Yeah, it's not only about the stuff that we are doing. It's also about it's also about if you have learned something new from this one, right? So I really hope that you have learned something, you've gained a little confidence. Yeah, I'll definitely update that source code, don't worry. Yeah, video is already recorded, you'll be getting that. Yeah, let me just do this once, and I'll also do one thing with you, don't worry, that I'll try to host it online, right? So that you can also see. Yeah, just 1 second. I'll say git add dot git commit. Just 1 second. So yeah, the code is now deployed. The code is now not exactly deployed, but the code is refreshed here. You can see the new code is visible. Yeah, just now I've printed it. Now what I want to do is I want to just deploy it. Now I just want to quickly make it available to the internet. So what I would do is I'll go here, I'll go to the settings, I'll go to the web pages, I'll go to this branches, and I'll go to deploy from branch. Just click on the main one, just click on save. It will take some time. It will be in the progress, right? It will take some time, and within few minutes, within few seconds, I would say, it would be deploying as it would deploy it, and it will have a URL from where you can check it on your systems. If you check it, if you'll check it on your mobile phones, it might not look equally good, but that was not the main agenda for the session. And I'm hoping, right, if you guys will show some interest into these type of workshops, we can extend the workshop, we can make it responsive, we can make some responsive projects. And in the later stages, we can start going with JavaScript projects, we can start going with React based projects, we can start going with a full stack project. A quick small project maybe, but yeah, we'll then plan on the further things. That's really, really good. Yeah, I was using some shortcuts, and see what I was doing, right? I told you, right? I was borrowing some styles from Myntra. I already had, a basic approach in my mind that how will we be going. I already knew that we'll use this section once and then we are going to reuse it. It just that I didn't want to do a very extended version of it. So I had done some background work from myself, like, okay, this is what we can do. This is how we can do that. So that's why you might feel कि ऐसा थोड़ा जल्दी हो गया है. But the main thing which I wanted to highlight here is that how would you approach it? How would you approach a complicated looking page like this? And how would you just get it done? So you need to first of all design the layout, right? I designed the layout in front of you, right? That maybe we'll have a section like this internally. Then I started giving the rough outline. I've given this rough outline of category headline, category headings, category items, and everything. I've given a rough headline. Once I've given the rough headline, then I started going into each section, and then I started designing everything, enhancing everything. So this is visible, and I hope if I'll just refresh the page, yes, now it is deployed. You can check it. Yeah, you can check it. The Myntra logo is not coming. Why? Maybe there might be something wrong here. We have to check it. Maybe this is not available right now. Maybe it will take some time to load that SVG there. But anyways, you can even check it right here. In your mobile devices, it might not look good, I know, but we have made it for the desktop approach right or now. So yeah, that is the thing. Let's quickly take some questions, right? Because I can see a lot of questions are coming in. Let's just quickly see. Certificates you'll be receiving in your in your mail. Don't worry, guys. All right, sir, in real time we do like this work in organization, gives suggest some tips and in an organization and etc. Right. So when it comes to organization and etc. Right, CSS is something that will get better with time, that will get better with practice. Right now I was able to do it and I was able to get some design etc. because I've been working with CSS, right? I had worked with CSS in some of my in my current company, in my current organization. So the more projects you'll build, the better understanding of CSS you'll get, right? So there's no other way of then just practicing it, then just taking up an assignment and then building it. Then there is no shortcut to CSS. It will take some time, it will take some project, but yeah. That's really good that you enjoyed. And sir, please do teach us about login connectivity. Yeah, see, that is about key right now. As you have started with HTML, CSS, maybe if you guys will show interest and if we'll come up with something like JavaScript, then we can come up with something like a full stack one. In that, we can see something like how can we log in and how we can do that. That's a really good topic, in fact, right? To do that authentication and authorization based stuff. We can use those JWT tokens. We can use those, a quick NoSQL based connection with MongoDB to get that thing done. So that's a good topic. That is something that we'll write on our sheet. That is something that we can do later on. So can you write some JavaScript? Right now we can do that, but it will make the session very complicated. मतलब बहुत ज़्यादा चीजें हो जाएंगी session में भी के लिए. But we will plan on these things for the next coming sessions. Sorry, Rahul, I cannot share as such my Gmail ID here because we'll get spam. Don't worry, you can still find me on the LinkedIn, you can still find me on my socials, etc. And once you do that, you can have a quick connection there. You can have a quick talk there. And again, let me just give you this heads up that I'm not very active on the LinkedIn's. I'm not very active on my socials. So in case you just drop me a text and you would expect, yeah, I'll be just replying instantaneously, that would not be the case, maybe. But yeah. About this now, I believe that I'm not really good at success stories and etc. But yes, I mean, just yeah, I cannot say anything as of now. I don't consider myself as a motivational speaker, but yeah. Perfect. Certificate you'll be getting. Just 1 second, let me turn the recordings off because yeah, the major part is done only.